Okay, I'm gonna hope this works. Well, this is our first time doing this. The test that I did the other day, I only got to test half of the setup. So I'm hoping that this is working and that you guys are hearing me okay. The microphone's looking like it's working, but you know, that's always a mystery. So please let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Is that okay? Somebody type something in there. Let me type it in here myself. Can you hear me? I just want to make sure the sound is coming through. Yes? No? Nobody saying anything yet. Yep, okay. Bam! All right. Now, we have, if this setup works right, what you should be able to do is if you have a Zoom account, you can log on to it using the meeting number that's on the channel wall. Okay? There's a login code or something you have to use too. And or Shay can put it in here for you guys. So if you have a comment that you want to make and get on the recording audio, you'll be able to do that, and hopefully it will pick you up. See, that's the part I didn't get to test because there's nobody here at the house but me. So I didn't really get to test that part. But since I got everything else set up right, I'm going to hope that that does too. So, welcome to the first pajama party of 2021. Probably the only one we do, but we didn't do one last year because of all that, interesting global issue stuff, and it just threw everybody off. I wasn't the only one thrown off, but it's like, forget all that. We are going to be, sitting here tonight. We're going to be, this is a 4 hour stream. Nobody's expecting all of y'all to stay, especially those of you in Europe and on the East Coast. It is Saturday night. I mean, if you got some rest tonight, you want to stay up all night with us, feel free. We're going to be talking about a whole bunch of nothing, but it should still be fun. So let me, I found all the stuff I wanted to talk to you guys. I want to get your opinions about the stuff. So Shay's going to put the number up. You can check in on Zoom. Like I said, if you have a Zoom account, or just use the link and call in using the meeting number. Okay. And then I can pick up your call over there. As a matter of fact, let me minimize this window so I can get over there and do that. Okay. And hold on, let me rearrange a little bit of stuff here so I can get to y'all on Zoomzilla. Here we go. And you can be over there and you can, call in, and hopefully I'll be able to pick up. You can do it by phone or you can do a video chat and be actually on the video with me, okay? If it works. I keep having to say that because I don't know. I didn't get to test it. All right, so now let's see, what is this? I'm looking at my stuff here. So Shay, it might be easier if you don't do these. This is a lot of phone numbers. Just put the URL for them to find their own local phone number, and they just need the meeting ID number and the passcode. But you can find your own local ID number, like I said, unless you have a Zoom account, just line um, into your Zoom account. Yeah, there we go. There's the meeting number, and there's the code. Oh, I don't know. That's the wrong one, Shay. I think that was the one for our test. Maybe I didn't send you this one. Sorry. Let me log into my Gmail right quick and forward it over to you. That was the one for our test, Shay. Um, the one for this actual meeting is a little different. Hold on, y'all. I'm pulling up my email so I can forward this over to Shay the Bay. Okay, where's forward at? Forward. Here we go. Forward. Why is it so slow? I guess because I have all these windows open. Okay, here we go. Okay, send. All right. Okay, I'm coming. All right. Okay, now I have something I want to get the conversation started with, something I found online. And you guys can, like I said, you can type a comment here, or you can call into Zoom or log into Zoom and be on video. So you got three ways to respond. Okay. I found this guy. This guy wrote this article about why he asking this question. It was written way back in 2014, but I thought it was hilarious, and I wanted to see what you guys had to think about it because some of you might agree. You know what I mean? Okay, so this the title is "Why Are Women So Stupid?" Seriously though, why? And his name is Normally Russ. Oh, sure, that's a fake name, but it was written on August. It was uploaded rather on August 12th, 2014. And he says it's not women's fault that they're stupid. They're victims of society's expectations. And he says, before you prematurely rip me a new one, this article isn't really about my viewpoint on why women are stupid. This is my viewpoint on why women are often stereotyped like children, dependent and helpless and hapless, and well, cluelessly stupid, long after they've proven themselves otherwise in their adult lives. So, he got you in with the title, but then I thought it was interesting how he's going to go and explain how a lot of men behave towards women, right? And we've all experienced it. So it's not like it's something new, novel, and unique that we never heard of. Okay, so he's talking to us. He starts talking about there are many recent issues that have unintentionally estranged women from men within social media, like the yes all women debate and persistent borderline inflammatory uh, tirades about modern day feminism. And yes, that is true because the first thing that the trolls do when a woman says something that they don't like is call her a feminazi, right? She's a feminazi. And I'm like, wow, this is kind of messed up. Hey, Rhonda, I got one person over here on Zoom, and he says, "Why is it women's it's societal expectation for women to be submissive and dependent?" And it was really interesting because I happen to be, tripping around on Clubhouse, and you can't hear me over here. Oh no! See, I was afraid of that. Ooh. Oh, let's try this. Okay, let's see. Can everybody still hear me? Can you still hear me? I changed my
I can
microphone. I'm
hear
not
you
sure this
now.
is gonna work.
I can hear you now.
Can you guys still hear me over on YouTube? Yes. I just want to make sure I had to change the microphone. So I want to make sure that everybody can still hear me. Yes? Okay. And Rhonda, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Yes. Okay. That was it. I had one of the settings wrong. All right. We back in business, folks. We back in business. Okay. So I thought this was really interesting. So then, oh, that's right. I was telling you about the room I fell into in where was I? Clubhouse. And one of the things, I don't know, some dudes start talking about submission. And you mash the little button right and you raise your little hand. And so I'm like, why is it like I've traveled all over the world and I have never, in any of the other countries I have been in, I haven't been to Africa, so let me, put that caveat in there. Um, have I heard any of the men talk, beating their chest about submission, except for black men right here in the United States? The only ones. Even in countries where, there's Christianity, by, millions and millions of people practice Christianity, you still don't hear the men talking about submission like you do black men here in the United States. It's just unbelievable. So I'm looking at, why is it that they want us to submit to them and feel so powerless? Yeah, Clubhouse is very scary. Shay, I got to agree with you. I'm like, these people are out of control. It's like, I don't know. I don't even, I'm still trying to decide if that's something I really want to do. I'm going to give it a few more tries and we'll see. Because, the way that they are over there. So, like, even in another one, um, I was in a room, I think it was yesterday. I don't know. I was bored. And so I went into this lady's room, and I'm a big one for, how I do here. If men get out of pocket, they start getting sideways. Me and Shay boot them the fuck up out of here. You don't get to talk to about the women any kind of way. You don't get to disrespect nobody. You don't get to share any kind of weird, sexist, misogynistic opinion up in here. You keep do all that somewhere else. I'm not saying you can't do it, because it's, you do what you want to do, but you can't do it here because there are boundaries and there are limits to what you can do here. Okay, because I'm not tolerating that. So this guy, right? I know some little troll person, and he want to talk. He want to get on and talk to the, address the hosts people, the people that's up on the little stage. And then he's saying, well, why are women such, women are such bitches and this and that and blah blah blah. And he had like all this like animosity in his tone of voice. He couldn't just ask a question and address like, why are women or young ladies this, or I've noticed in my dating life that I've tended to choose women who had these particular traits of behavior. He didn't do it like that. He just did this blanket women are bitches kind of thing. Okay, now keep in mind that most of these hosts are very young people. Okay, they're young. They're like in their 20s. And they be talking about nothing for hours. I mean, how are you going to have a room that stays open all night long? Who has that kind of time? You got kids and a job and responsibilities and bills to pay and, pursuits, hobbies and interests to pursue and relations. They just be on there for hours. I mean, I can't. You go to bed and the room is full and, people talking, and I wake up 8 hours later and then I'm roaming around. I say, oh yeah, let me see what, this room is still open and people still in there. So I'm like, wow, this is some amazing stuff. Thank you, whoever that was, P. I'm like, this is crazy. This is crazy. So anyway, I objected to the young man's language and how he was addressing all the women in the room with such disrespect. Just off the top, he don't know nobody, but everybody got to be a bitch. Okay. So I was just appalled that she let him continue talking. And so I asked, I said something about it. And she was like, well, with all due respect, this is my room and I let him talk and this and that. And she didn't say it with much attitude, but she was like, call herself correcting me and saying that she lets the fools talk because she wants other women to see how stupid they are. And I'm still trying to figure that logic out. Why would you give your platform to a fool and subject all the women in your room to derogatory, negative, misogynistic, hateful comments just to prove a point that you to some women who don't care about him and don't ever want to see him and won't know him anyway? So her logic was skewed. I mean, I could see if the conversation was, only in this room is everybody in this town. You see what I'm saying? Well, then her logic might have some merit because, say, I don't know, this is a Oakland chat and everybody in here is in Oakland and the chances of someone here in this chat that lives in Oakland running into this man who also lives in Oakland, she might have a point. You see what I'm saying? But you got a worldwide platform and you letting somebody come in and demean all the women in the room by calling them these horrible names, and you let him keep saying it and keep doing it, and that's your excuse. Because I want other people to know. Okay, after he said it the first time, I think they know. Why do you got to keep letting him say it over and over and over and over and over? I'm so that's why I'm saying the platform itself seems to be ripe with a lot of really clueless people. I mean, I've been in some of the business chats and stuff, some entrepreneurial chat. I thought that was real interesting. I learned some stuff there, some different grants and stuff you can apply for. There's educational and informational things, and that's originally why I wanted to be on there. But now there's like this whole subculture there of, the black rooms, and it's just ignorance, straight ghetto ignorance. That's all I can say. Just people not knowing, mispronouncing things. Men with some real poor understanding of themselves, what is manhood, how they should be conducting themselves, what they should be striving for in life. I mean, a lot of really lost young cats, and I feel sorry for them because their parents just I don't know what kind of parenting these people are doing. Okay, then now let's talk about the young ladies, confused as hell. Okay, so this one dude, I mean, just something this simple. Okay, these, like I said, these are young. They're in their 20s and stuff, and early 30s. And so this guy was trying to ask a question to me, but he was phrasing all stupid. I don't know what he was talking about. To this day, I still don't know what he was talking about. So he was mumble plugging around in there, and all this stuff. So I said, dude, I don't know what you trying to ask me. Can you slow down, get your thoughts together, and make your question? Stop going all around. Ask your question. Okay, so this girl hops in there. Well, what he trying to say? I shut her down. I'm like, that's a grown ass man on the other end of this phone. He does not need you to come jumping in here with your cape on, trying to save him or defend him or explain what he needs. He is not a child. Stop talking. Okay, so I shut that shit down. It wasn't even my room. I was like, ooh, I don't know, maybe I'm a little out of pocket because they not really ready for me or something. But, she did get quiet, and so then he did answer the question. But I mean, it's stuff like that. How can young women still be this unaware of the different dynamics of their behavior and how they interact with men? It was just the most interesting thing. I mean, I can only take it in limited doses. So I'll be in these rooms for like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, and then I have to go because it's interesting. I'm going to be doing something there tomorrow, though, at 4. And that's what we're going to be talking about. I just up on the community wall. If you missed it, that's what I'm going to be posting stuff that I have, coming up on YouTube as well as over there or anywhere else I do stuff, radio appearances or whatever. It's going to be on the community wall. So if you're not a subscriber to the channel, be sure to hit that subscription button before you jet up out of here and hit the notification bell. Even if you're already a subscriber, or you think you are, go and check your settings. This week I've gotten 5 emails, and then somebody posted something today on the wall saying that she wasn't getting notifications anymore. These other women did too. So you guys be very careful about that. Check your settings and make sure that they're still active, because I don't know, YouTube does that every so often. They just unsubscribe people or they turn off your notifications. So I don't know. I had this cute pajama set that I was gonna wear. Went and bought it just for the show, right? I don't know what I was thinking, because it was green and white. I use the green screen. I can't wear no green clothes on here because it blends in. It looks like I had because it had prints on it, so you could see bits of the background going through. I was like, oh no! So I had to take it off and put this on. But I sleep in this sometimes too. So I have on my black sleep shorts and I have my black t-shirt on, and so I do sleep like that sometimes, so it's not too far off. But I want to be all cute like Diana Prince. She done got her some stuff from Victoria's Secrets with matching bunny slippers and shit. So I'm like, well, shoot, I want a new outfit too. So I went to go try to keep up with her and messed up and got the wrong color. Anyway, I have in this cup, since I'm gonna be here for 4 hours. Guess what I'm drinking? It's coffee, but it got some brandy in it. But I did have to have coffee. So if I start drinking like straight liquor, I'll be asleep. And y'all would be like, well, damn, I didn't know damn to snore that loud. Not enough sugar. Oh well, I'm gonna just have to fake it. I just have to fake the funk. So I have some ladies here up here in Zoom. Y'all want to be on camera, or you want to say something on the mic? You want to say something about men being foul and funky online, calling women names and acting a fool? I don't really quite know what to do about that, especially
I
about the women who think that's okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Diamond Princess?
Can you hear me?
Let's see. Is your microphone hooked up?
I can hear you,
Nope.
Can you hear
Diamond
me?
I
Princess.
can't hear you. Check
She
your
can't hear
microphone
me.
settings on your computer. You can hear her? Well, how come I can't
Yeah,
hear
we
her?
can hear.
Huh. Hold on a second. Let me check some settings over here. See, this is a first for me. I'm telling you. So let's see. Uh, let's see. Uh, okay, microphone. Okay, you can hear her. How come I can't hear? But you know what? That's okay, because what you're saying will be on the video. I just can't respond to it because I can't hear it. I have something set wrong. And this is such a new thing to me. I don't even know what's wrong.
It's
Let
okay.
me see. Hmm. Okay. Because I want that to go into the video. Oh, I know what I'll probably have to do. Hold on a second. I just figured out a workaround. I am going to listen to you on my phone. That's what I'm going to do. And then
Yay!
I'll be able to hear you, and everybody else will be able to hear you too. Let's do
Yay!
that. Not already. Oops. Let me find where I have Zoom on this phone. I know it's on here somewhere. Here it is. Give me a sec. I should have thought of this beforehand. But of course, since I'm a novice, I didn't think of it. Schedule. Here we go. Nope. Okay, I'm get. Okay. Okay, now. Oops. I just
I
want to
just
hear
want to hear
them.
them.
Diamond Princess.
Oh, you're echoing.
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
have
because I
two
have two
mics
mics
on.
on.
Okay.
Uh,
So now I turn. Wait, I thought I turned this off. I just want to be able to hear you.
oh, okay. Well, good evening to you. I'm from South Los Angeles. How are you?
I'm scared to talk. I'm fine.
well, first of all, I love you and I love the channel. I discovered you 3 years ago, and you really helped me a lot because I was going through, a phase of having low self esteem about myself. And when I discovered your channel and you were, telling the truth about men, that I never knew that was the case, with men. Because I didn't, I always told myself, well, why do men act this way? And I could never figure it out. But when you explained it on your channel, I was like, yeah, it makes sense. But I just want to thank you for doing, giving me the confidence that I need. And, I graduated from college this semester. I will be going to San Jose State. yeah, I'm gonna get my BS, my MS, and my PhD. So
Ooh, get it,
I'm
girl.
very yeah. yeah, so I want to thank you because my focus is not on men anymore. It was about myself and what I need to do to get that accomplishment. You know, but what you were saying about Clubhouse, because I just joined Clubhouse myself and I had no idea it was that ratchet. I was like, what are these people talking about? Like, do they speak English? Because I'm hearing niggalese. I was trying, to figure it out because I was invited by one person and she had, all these men on her channel. I was like, I can't hear this. It's like, this is not making any sense, you know? uh, yeah, so I only been on Clubhouse like once and I have not returned. It was so ratchet. It's like it's like because I used to live in the hood. I used to live in the hood. And I used to hear people talk like that. Now when I am older, it's like so annoying. It's so annoying people talking like that. It's like, what are you saying? Because I was, I grew up in foster care and my foster parents taught me how to speak, more properly. So, but I'm also a YouTuber. I'm a YouTuber and I also, share my dating relationships with other, with my subscribers and how I used to date when I was younger because back then we really didn't have a definition to describe men. That word dusty, it wasn't really a term back then we describe it, but I had horrible dating experience in my 20s. And I used to, and these guys, all they
So
wanted was sex.
how old are you now?
I'm 33, about to be 34 in October.
Okay.
Yeah. So I back in my 20s, I didn't have the best self, self esteem, and and I didn't even figure it out because I thought these guys were being nice. They're taking me out on dates, but when it comes to find out, it was horrible. They try to have sex with me. I was like, these dates are horrible. Like they didn't know how to court. They always take me to like the movies and they want to talk, and I was like, shut up, we're watching a movie. Like it was so annoying. It was so these dates were so annoying. So I decided to stop dating and focus focus on my education. I joined Job Corps when I was turned 24. I graduated in within 6 months or to a year. And I used to have a boyfriend. I met my boyfriend after Job Corps. He was I didn't notice about him. He had problems. I think he had mental illness about the time I entered the relationship. And he used to drink a lot, a lot. And I always asked him, what propels you to, drink and get drunk? Like, what is on your mind? And he used to tell me, well, I'm afraid to lose my mom. And I was like, well, have you ever, because his mom is a Christian. I met his mom before. She's the, she was the sweetest lady. And I was like, well, have you ever told your mom how you felt? And he said no. But his drinking continued, and I couldn't, take it anymore, and I just, left him alone.
Yeah, don't nobody want to
Yeah,
be bothered with all that.
yeah. But but to tell you the truth, I'm kind of embarrassed about this relationship because I used to be with a married man as well. We've been together for 3 years until I decided to break it off because there was no connection. He was an older dude. He was in his 60s at the time.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he was in his 60s, and I was in my late 20s, so
Okay, you was tripping.
I was tripping.
I don't even want to date somebody in their 60s, and I'm way older than you.
Yeah, I was tripping, and I was like, and when I broke up with him, I was like, what the hell was I thinking, dating a married man? What the hell was I thinking? 3 years, and I, didn't even think twice that, you know, because how I met him, we used to work at the Pasadena Rose Bowl, so he was my supervisor. So he lived in the Lancaster area.
Oh, I know
So
where that is.
yeah, that's nothing but I used to stay out there. That's nothing but you know desert.
Girl,
Um,
wait. Okay, let's fast forward to now. And I'm sorry about this echo, you guys. I don't know what else to do about it. Um, what are you planning to do about men now that you're going into this? You know, thought I was.
and oh goodness,
There she is. She's back.
Okay, I don't know what happened.
Debbie, I lost you.
Yeah, the window went away for a minute.
Oh, okay. But what you was gonna ask me?
Okay, with what you have planned for your life now,
So
how are you changing the men that you're going to affiliate with? You have, some standards now, some
yes.
guidelines, some boundaries. What are you going to do now?
So I haven't really thought about dating yet because I'm still, in my education phase. But if I ever do date, I would choose a guy that is more responsible and more, reliable. And, and has some respect for himself. He has to have confidence in himself. He has to, he has to, know how to be a man, but be able to be a provider. And my goal is like, if I told myself, if I ever want to have kids, I want to get married first.
There you go.
I don't. I had like I when I was younger, I was always responsible when it came to sex. I always made guys wear a condom because I did not want to become a statistic. I did not want to become a baby mama. So I was always, aware of STDs and pregnancies, and I didn't want to become one of those statistics. So I always made a guy wear a condom, and and I just didn't, want to be a mom in my 20s. I didn't want to be a mom in my 20s because I was at that age. I was still trying to figure myself out at that time. But now that, I got teaching from you, I I know now what I want and I want to do and what type of guy I should be, looking out for.
Okay. Well, that's what we like to hear.
Deb, you're on
Oh,
mute.
oops. I was saying that's what we like to hear. I forgot I had muted myself while you were talking. That's good. Well, let me put you on hold, and you can feel free to pop back in here. I want to see what some of the other ladies have to say, and if you ladies want to participate in the call like Diamond Princess just did, Shay's putting the room. Um, the Zoom room information up there. You can log on with your Zoom account, or you can just call in on the phone. Either one works. Let me see. Let me get the chat part back up here. Get the chat back on the screen. Hold on a second. Uh, Chat. Here we go. Okay. I'm gonna keep messing up and muting myself. That's what I'm gonna do. I just am having a hard. I'm struggling with this. It seemed like a good idea at the time, and it is working. I just don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. What happened to the YouTube thing? Here we go. All right. Okay. Yeah, I'm struggling over here. Single mothers were statistics and would be scrutinized. When I'm off mute, there's a triple echo. Okay, this is not working. I don't quite know what else to do. But when I'm off, so when I'm muted, then you can hear them really well. Hmm. A triple echo, damn. Not just an echo, a triple echo. Yeah, Shake, that could be a problem. Cause you start thinking stuff. Oh, that's too funny.
I don't hear your echo anymore in the Zoom room.
Yeah, it probably does, but I don't have one of those accounts. I just have a Zoom account. But I will be investigating other options because I have some other stuff. I just got a new soundboard, but it's not hooked up yet. I think that will take care of 99% of this problem that I'm having. But because of the phone and everything, and the computer will just hook right into it, and microphone and the headphones and everything. But it's not set up yet. I got it last weekend, and the instruction book. They have them online, right? Look at how thick this sucker is, and this is front and back. You think I've had time to read that? So I'm gonna get it set up at some time within the next couple of weeks. Your mind was going in circles. This is too funny. Well, I guess we're just gonna have to do it the way that we've been doing it because this is not this is yeah, because I took it off. But the problem is if I want to hear what they're saying on Zoom, I can't hear them. You guys can hear them, but I can't hear them. So if they ask me a question, I won't know what they're saying. So that's the problem. And I don't know. enough about this because I was, experimenting with it, just getting it all set up. So I don't know what I need to change, but obviously there's something needs to be different. But I don't know what it is, and I don't have time to figure it out right now. Um, and when you switch from YouTube, it cut off your YouTube sound. Oh yeah, yeah, because most computer systems can only handle sound from one source at a time. So that's probably why that happened. So let me go back to this and let them ask the questions. Then you get back on and tell them to mute themselves too. We can try that. See, Kiki coming up with the solutions. I like that. Solutions oriented. Okay, so let's see. Yeah. Okay. So look at this though. That he makes this important point. If a man has a mentality that women are submissive and dependent, then that means that men would stereotype you as being less than, which is more like a little kid, right? Something to be told what to do and not really listen to, and that you don't know nothing, and that you are, dependent on him like a father figure to tell you what to do and how to do it and when and where and what you can wear and what not to wear and where you can go and all that kind of stuff like a parent, right? And I was like, well, and this was written by a man now, so okay. And he says um, that there's a level of submissiveness and quiet acceptance of this amongst women that is unspoken and expected within our society. Why do you think that over, quote, 60% of assaults are not reported to the police? And then he has a link to a whole sheet that talks about it, and it's true because a lot of families, if we've heard this before, somebody will do something to one of the females in the family, and they close ranks and they don't want to report it to the police. They want to protect the person who did it and just throw the victim under the bus, and so that women are expected, to be quiet and not get men in trouble and not speak up against men and all this kind of stuff. You know, and he says that's why that people like doggy style positions and you know uh, kitty popcorn because it's the mentality is that women are perceived to be beneath men. Anything female is beneath anything that's male, like like a little puppy, like or a little dog or something to be used for their pleasure. And I was like, wow. And they make jokes about feminism and call women feminazis. And any man who's on the side of a woman, they degrade and demean him and call him a simp and all kind of horrible names. When he just might be about equality for women because he has, that mentality. He was raised when he respects his mother, he respects his sisters, aunties, grandmothers, and then he wants to have a situation where his daughters that he have Sandy are equally respected. He wants a world where women are respected, and that's how he rolls through the world. And yet, when he does that, other guys, try to bring him into their fold of evilness and hate towards women by calling them these awful names. It's just a trip. Wait, what? Let me see what's butterfly talking about. That was just a little bit too much for my brain. Oh, share your sound on Zoom and then mute yourself and listen through the phone. That's what I'm doing now. Even when I'm muted. I mean, how I was listening to her. I was muted. That's what I was doing, butterfly, but it made that weird echo. Yeah, Zoom is just doing its own thing tonight. I don't know what's going on. That's what I said too, Earth Angel. I'm not submitting to nobody about nothing ever. And any man who thinks that's the way he want to do, no, it's an article, Tansy. This article I found online, and it was written in 2014. I don't know. I just was, pecking around, just trying to find some subject matter to talk to you guys about. And I guess I kept putting in different keyword strings. I don't even remember which one pulled this up. But yeah, it's old, August 2014, you know. And I'd never seen it before. It's from the internet. It's an article called "Why Are Women So Stupid?" Seriously though, why? I don't know. I don't put the trailers and all that stuff. It uses extra ink, so I didn't put all that. So I don't remember where I got it from. But I'm sure if you search that exact title, it'll pull up. Why are women so stupid? Question mark. Seriously though, comma why? Question mark. Put all that in Google, and I'm sure you'll go right to the article, and you can read it for yourself. It's pretty horrific, and he just so blatant with it. He just busting these dudes out. It's really interesting, and then he says the whole women as I helpless stems from a paradigm that runs rampant in our society. In psychology, it's known as the Madonna whore complex. I have explained this theory to many of my friends who have asked me why the women they ask out reject them. They usually attribute it to one of two things: she's a prude or she is a stuck-up bitch. Don't believe me? Just ask a guy friend about the women they've been talking to recently, including those that they're in an eggplant relationship with. He will probably say one of three things. Quote, she is just so nice and inexperienced. I think I intimidate her. Or some variation of she's a freak, but I don't think I could settle down with her. Or, yep, she is marriage material. There will be occasional free thinker that tells you how awesome her personality is, but for the most part, all of the above are the predominant male modes of thinking in terms of men relating to women, and he is right. Does anyone disagree? Yeah, Zoom is acting real stupid tonight. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I told you the title, so y'all just search for it, and you can pull it right up. It's not that long. It's what, like 3 pages, 2.5 pages? Yeah, 2.5 pages. It's not that long. But he dropped some gems. He really busted out the male mentality in these few words, and I was really, interested in what he had to say, because and you guys know this is true. This is how men think. Either you a hoe and somebody you just nothing. They put a lot of baby mamas in that category, or a woman who's quote wife materials, somebody who they say is wife worthy of being quote wifed up, or you just too you nice but you too inexperienced, and those are the ones that feel like, well, they could cheat on you because you don't know nothing. But then if you have experience and you do know something and you turn them out, well, now you a hoe. So it's like you can't win, right? It's just you can't win. It's that they don't know what they want. They don't even have any clue. That's I don't pay no attention to what they be talking about. 'Cause they want to put you in a category. It's like they can't. There's groupthink. They all think alike. None of them think for themselves. They all base who they pick as a woman on who their friends are gonna approve of. Have you guys ever noticed that? Who's their friends are gonna approve of? Like Diamond Princess's dude that was 60 years old. You know how the ancient ass Social Security collecting friends was all like, man, how you get that young, sweet young thing, and all that kind of stuff. So, oh, Kiera, you want to say something? Okay, let me see how I'm gonna do this. I think I have to mute myself while you talk. Okay, so you go ahead and talk, and I'll mute myself.
Oh no, I was just laughing at what you were saying. That's nasty. 60? Ugh.
Here, are you still there?
Yeah. Oh, I was done, but yeah, she's absolutely right. It is a very bad pack mentality. They
They're
really all
yeah.
just it's like they think alike. It's like this instead of Stepford wife, it's like Stepford whoever the hell cares. I can't even say Stepford husband. It's like whoever the hell cares about you. It's Stepford whatever. You
They're
all think the
trying
same
to
thing. Ugh.
they're trying to promote, older men getting with younger women because they feel like they're the most fertile and will produce children, which is disgusting because who wants to produce children with your grandfather? Like, come on now. somebody that could be your grandfather. They're going through a midlife. These older males are going through a midlife crisis. They're having, some type of midlife crisis where they have to get a younger woman to feel young again, and that's not how that works. They're trying to take the youth away from younger women. They're wasting their time and their youth. So this is why, YouTubers like Deb are very important to make women aware of what men are thinking, because to be honest with you, these men are just thinking about pumping and dumping. They're not really interested in marriage. They never talk about marriage. They never explain how marriage is important to them, what roles they play in that marriage. They never talk about that.
Or taking care of them kids neither. It's just, oh, well, she needs to have the baby. Yeah, I noticed something interesting. I don't see you in there taking care of it, and I don't hear you saying it either.
Deb, can you hear? I can't see your phone, holding your phone to your ear. I don't know if she can hear.
Oh, it says that her line is off.
Oh, she can hear.
She can hear.
Okay, but I don't know if you've heard about this trend going around where women are proposing to men. I'm like, that's so stupid. Like, why are women so desperate to get married to a man that really doesn't really love them?
He don't want to get married anyway. I think I remember seeing like a really old video on Facebook, and I just it was like a clip, but I just remember like it was in a room full of people, and she was down on her knee, and it was just the look that he gave, this cocky ass look, like, yeah, you better get down on your knees and marry me. I wish you would. I'm the female in this. I'm the one with the how explicit can we be on here?
Jody Turner Smith.
I'm the one with the big genitals. I'm the prize here. Like, what you mean? I'm the one who gets the ring. Like, what? Oh,
Jody Turner Smith's husband ousted her, I think, a couple of days ago, and he told that one host from Saturday Night Live that, yeah, she's the one that proposed to me. She's the one that wanted to get married. So, and Jody Turner is not the only one proposing. You see Instagrams of women getting on their knees proposing to men. It's like, it's so disgusting. Like, why are you doing this? If a man wants to get married, he will propose to you. Like, why are women getting on one bended knee and proposing to these men and forcing them to get married? If he doesn't want to get married and he hasn't proposed to you within those 6 months or to a year, then it's time to leave him. It's just absolutely disgusting why these women are getting on their knees, being the masculine, being the man in the relationship, and feminine these guys. And not only that, the guys are promoting this, and it's so disgusting.
And they're promoting it in mass, and then turn around and say, "Oh no, but we're the good guys." I'm like, "No, you're not, because you're promoting exactly what they exactly want. So no, you're not the good guy. You're the guy who doesn't have the balls to be the bad guy. So you have to be the good guy by default. But you're encouraging the good guy to continue what he's doing because you secretly want to do what he's doing, but you don't have the balls to do so." So
yeah, like, I was never, even though I had low self-esteem back in my past, I was never taught to do anything for a man, or to, go out your way to get, a man to like you. It's so backwards, because I had a cousin that did that. She would do like anything to get a man. And it was just so, it was so backwards. And these men are so used to women doing things for them. They're like, okay, I really don't have to do nothing because the women are doing it for me. Like, they became the women in the relationship, and it's so, backwards. I can't, like, this trend has to stop. It has to stop.
All right, I'm just gonna start calling it out when I see it. I'm like, oh, so you want to be the girl, huh?
I'm
I'm like,
gonna
oh, so
call the
you want
woman
a
out.
woman, right?
I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
call the woman out. It's like, okay, so you taking his place.
oh, that too. Oh, that's a good one too. Oh yeah. Oh, so
Yeah,
you took his place. Oh, that's an even better one because that's a
yeah,
dig at her and him.
yeah.
Okay,
Because she's the one is on one knee, and they're doing it in public. It's so embarrassing. I would
ladies.
never.
Some people are
Yes.
saying that one of you you have the video playing in the background. You need to mute it.
There's no video playing in my background.
Oh, does that
Okay.
work?
Yeah, that's what they said in the room. That's a good. That's what they usually do on the radio shows.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I usually just mute it. Oh, okay. Pausing it. Yeah. All right. That's good to know.
Yeah. Um, there's there's so much ass backwards thinking in this generation, which is my generation. There's so many ass backwards thinking because they weren't taught or raised to be the prize. No, women wasn't raised to be the prize, and that's so sad. It's sad.
Well, I say that it's. Oh, this is going on. This is doing this again. That women need to stop with the proposing and stepping up and taking men's places on stuff. I'm in full agreement with that. I don't want to ask men out. I don't recommend that women call first. You don't text first. You don't ask him out. If he asks you out, you don't pay on the date. You don't propose none of that.
Deborah, I was on another person's live stream, right? And there's this one Dusty that was on his live stream as well, and he's saying that Black women should be the ones that ask the men out on the date, and do. And I just started laughing at him because he sounds so ridiculous, and he sounds so feminine. What the way these men think nowadays is so outrageous. It's like, dude, like, do you know how you sound? You are on live and the whole world's watching you, and you saying this, and you're emasculating yourself. Nobody's emasculating you. You're doing that by yourself. Oh my goodness. Like, you don't hear yourself when you talk. Like, they like, some of these men are real desperate for women to ask them out because they don't want to be the man anymore. They want to rest in their femininity.
I know, right? Femininity ain't that bad. You sure are trying to get to it and assert my position to get it.
Oh yeah, they're trying to compete with us, and it's so sad.
It is. Like, how you gonna be better than the original? No, no one can be better than me.
No, they can try, but they're only emasculating themselves because when a man feel emasculated, just like Wendy Williams, for example, when she was the breadwinner in her marriage, her husband felt emasculated because he was not coming home bringing in the bread. His wife was. So he decided to step out his marriage, got with a younger woman, got her pregnant, and Wendy knew about this side chick. She knew about it. She let him, mess around with her. And her biggest mistake that she made is when she did not ask him to call it off. And she did not divorce him when she found out. So when the mistress got pregnant, that's when she got the divorce. And to me, it's like you shouldn't wait that long to divorce a man just because you wanted him, you did not want him to get the mistress pregnant. When I If it was me and I found out that my man was cheating on me, I would have gave him the divorce papers that same day, because we can't keep letting these guys do what they want to do with the marriage. That's unacceptable.
Well, let me say this. How do I do this? I want to mute this thing. Um, I have always thought, even before it was popular, that Wendy is trans. Now, if my theory is correct, that would be one reason why she would not have gotten a divorce right away, because he could get somebody pregnant over there, and it's the kind of thing like you can't really compete when you don't have that kind of equipment. I've always thought that. Do I know? No. But it's just something about it. I just always have thought that from the first time I laid eyes on that person that they call Wendy Williams. I've always thought that was a man. That's the rumor, but do we believe that? I don't believe that. Who saw her pregnant, even with the son that they have? Did you see her pregnant? Everybody say
I
they didn't
never,
see her pregnant.
I
I
didn't,
don't know, but I'm looking at the husband, and I'm like, he wouldn't have been able to smell my fart. I just can't. He's ugly. He's a hideous human being. So let me mute
no,
myself.
I didn't know Wendy Williams. I didn't discover Wendy Williams until 2012 when her show started back up again. So that's after she had her son, way after she had her son. But I never seen her pregnant. To answer your question, I never seen her pregnant. Uh, your mic is muted.
Yeah, we still can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Every time I unmute my mic, then I'm hearing it in two places. I don't like this. I don't know what to do about it. I'm telling you, I saw the first time I saw Wendy Williams. When was that? In the '90s. I'm like, why is that dude going around calling himself Wendy? I said that, and all my friends thought I was crazy. But you do know I grew up in San Francisco, right? I can spot a gay man. I've been doing it since I was born. So I'm looking and I'm like, that's a dude. And can't nobody convince me otherwise. Them giant golem hands looking like Bruce, what's his face?
Uh, you know, I always known her or him as Wendy Williams Hunter. I was, I never thought of her, as being like trans or, you know,
Yeah, because the real name was Wendell.
Wendell. Yeah,
Wendell Williams.
yeah. Because her body, her like all that plastic surgery, like the hips, like I always like, wonder, her body wasn't shaped like a woman, but like I always said to myself, who am I to judge? Because not every woman's shaped the same, it's kind of like, Uh, uh, I always look to her like her body is so weird.
No, not Bruce Willis. Bruce, the swimming champion that now goes by the name of the
Caitlyn
one that was
Jenner.
the Kardashian dude. Him, that Bruce.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah, Bruce Jenner. I'm never
Oh,
gonna
you said
call his
him.
ass Caitlyn.
He's running for governor, right?
And I'm gonna get on a campaign to do everything I can to shoot that down.
Oh God, when I first heard that he was running for governor, I was like, no, 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 we can't have that. Because it's scary because trans people are trying to, well, actually, trans women are trying to identify themselves as women, like biological women. And they're trying to go into women's restroom, which is so, disturbing to me because
Oh,
this
not
dude,
trying to, honey, already doing it. There's a case
God,
just reported recently where this guy went into the ladies' restroom at a gym and went into the spa area where there were like girls and women, like teenage girls, and exposed himself. And the gym, didn't even want to throw him out. The women all
you know,
complained, the mothers complained, and the gym was like,
did you hear about this one dude? He came into he did identify himself as trans, and he went into the women's restroom and exposed his penis to not only women but children. And the woman came out to complain to one of the workers, say, "Hey, this man is coming into the restroom, and he's showing his dangling, his stick." And she was, the workers, their reaction was, like I don't know. I have to see the video again, but this woman went off. She went off.
yeah, I don't blame her. I would too. So let's talk
Hmm.
about some stuff though that has some direct approach, some direct impact to us, and because that's a battle, that's a political battle, and that's going to require some different focus. Right tonight, I want to focus more on what we can do for ourselves. That we do have the power to do, make a change. Like right today, we can do it for ourselves and for our daughters, and our future daughters, and what we can do, looking at some behavior patterns or some things. Like, let's talk about, okay, I think I talked enough about what dude is talking about, this submission crap. We already know how we feel about that. How do you guys feel about women cheating? Who do you think cheats
So,
more? Who do you think
Both.
cheats better?
oh, men cheat more, but women do it better.
Yeah, we sure do. We don't go around telling our home girls about what we do. Most of us don't.
So don't
Guys, the reason why they always get caught because they always tell their homeboys what they're doing.
And they tell women that they got a big mouth. I've never seen nobody's mouth bigger than a man. I'm like, you just can't shut up, can you?
You're right.
I'm like, I tell a lot of guys sometimes, I just be sitting there, they just be talking and talking and talking, and I just be sitting, I don't say nothing. And they be sitting, and then eventually, like, you can hear from me, of course I'm a black woman, and we be giving them looks, and I'm just waiting on them. I'm like, I know I'm giving you a look. Every guy, no matter what race he is, I'm like, I'm giving you a look. Go ahead, keep talking. They eventually stop talking, and I just tell them, like, you look better when you don't talk.
Right. Right, because Derek Jackson got caught uh, with his mistress. Everybody on YouTube knows about that, about him sleeping with another woman, and his wife. Man, I wish her the best, but she said that was not the only time. On the first time he cheated on her, he cheated on her with other women, but it's like you haven't divorced him yet, and he cheated on you again. You're still willing to, stay married to him? Like, what woman in her right mind would want to put up with that? Like you
But
can
there's a
get
lot of
like
women that do that though.
yeah.
They have different, and I talked about this. Where was I? Some show. I talked about what I felt were the three reasons that most women would stay. One is money, the financial resources. Um, Two is they have that idea that without a man, they're nothing. So they feel like even having a raggedy, cheating piece of man is better than none at all because they don't want to be single. And then the third reason is they are so damaged, they have such low self esteem that they've grown up to, that's all they've seen. So they don't know any different. They don't know that they deserve better. They don't even know what it looks like to have a man who really loves, respects, and cherishes his wife. They don't know anything about that. They've never seen it. So those to me are the three primary reasons. There may be some other smaller nuances in there, but those seem to be the three big reasons that women stay with men that cheat on them, not just once, but repeatedly. And I have always, when I was getting ready to get married, I told my husband, this is how it's going to go, home skillet. Whatever you do, just remember I can do it better and I can do it for free. Whereas you gonna have to like take people out and give them money and help them pay bills and do all kinds of stuff because they gonna charge you.
You know,
Obviously, it works
guys,
for me,
it's easy to get sex from
And I
guys.
was much cuter then than I am now. Okay, and I'm thinking, that's not gonna work. So this just remember that. That's how you're gonna get paid back, and then I'm gonna leave you. But first, I'm gonna hurt every feeling that you ever had. And I'm gonna tell you about how good it was, and how loud I screamed. I'm gonna tell you all of that, and then I'm going to divorce you. And I'll never forget that look on his face. He just looked horrible. He looked horrified because he's like, I can't believe you said that to me. I said, I just want you to understand what you're getting into. Don't fuck with me. Don't play with me like that.
You have to give
You
them
went
like
chasing
self
after me,
talk.
asking me to marry you 97 times and all that old shit. So that must mean that you ready to do what I want you to do. Otherwise, you should have
Right.
kept your mouth closed and we could have just played, just been cool. But you want to be married? So this is the contract under which I will marry you. Don't you do nothing stupid, or I'm out. And so,
Yes.
not to say that he died. I mean, we only was 7 years, but that was a long time ago. So who knows what would have happened in the interim? But I'm just telling you, up until that day, he was always stressed out about it, and I'm like, I'm still not ugly. I'm just not as cute as I used to be.
You
So.
know, yeah, women don't wait and to get don't get out of their marriage until they get older and realize that it's just not working out for them. They just, it's just like having like an awakening or something, and then they decide to leave their marriage. But I believe that we should, teach our daughters to, not to have guys disrespect them even in the marriage. If we have not agreed to have like an open marriage and have sex with people from the outside, then then that's something that you should not be pursuing. Guys, nowadays they are pushing this whole saying that I want to cheat in peace. And it's like, it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't make
What?
sense. Yeah, they put out this rhetoric saying they want to cheat in peace while they're married.
How about I give you a piece of steel? How about that?
Oh
Girl,
God.
wait, where did you hear this? You must have heard this on Clubhouse.
Right? Like, where
No,
did
it's
you
on
hear that?
YouTube too. It's on YouTube.
Oh, Lord, no.
They following Kevin Serials. They follow his ass because put out that record saying that let men cheat in peace. It doesn't really make sense. Why would you break your
Okay,
vow?
wait. I want to remind everybody. Do not mention the name of fools on my channel. Don't do that.
Okay.
You just
Sorry.
committed a major faux pas, Diamond Princess. You
Sorry.
don't say their names. I don't want to give them no pub. I don't want to promote their shit. Nothing. You can talk about their issues. You can talk about what they said, but do not mention anybody's name or do not mention anybody's channel. Nobody's books, nobody's videos, nobody's TV show, nobody's radio show, nothing. Okay? Talking
I'm sorry.
generalities.
I'll apologize. Sorry. um. Yeah. Yeah. He put out that that saying "cheat in peace" after they caught DJ. Caught up with with his mistress. So these guys are trying to promote cheating as the norm, and to me, it's like, why can't you guys stay single then? Why you guys feel the need to get married and then go outside your marriage and cheat when it's not even
Exactly.
agreed? It's really not agreed upon to
Exactly.
between
Why
you
do
and
you
your
feel?
wife.
Yeah. Why do you feel the need to ruin somebody else
I'm
for no reason? That don't make no sense.
Uh-uh.
That's something you cut out, Deborah. Yeah. Oh, Deborah, we can't hear you. Yeah, we can't hear you,
Oh, I
Deborah.
wasn't saying anything.
Oh,
Oh.
we thought you were. Oh,
I was waiting for you.
oh, I thought you
Okay, so
started
this is what
talking.
we're gonna do. While you talk, I have to go and get a charger because I didn't know that I wasn't prepared to be using my phone, and
Oh,
it's very low. So you talk, and you guys talk about this thing about this cheating, and when I get back, I'm going to read some of the passages from this. Why 25 reasons why women cheat so easily.
okay.
Because men are cocky and they
Mhm.
don't assume they women are gonna cheat. I don't know why. I mean,
I,
I'm not.
you
I'm
know,
not. Go ahead, Don.
no, go ahead. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I'm like, let's just be honest. A lot of guys, they're not very cute PG. They're not very skilled in the bedroom department. So, I mean, honestly, a lot of women, I'm like, I don't know what y'all really hanging on to. Most guys are not that skilled in the
Look,
bedroom. So,
look. It's all about if they want. I don't know what these guys want when they get married. Um, they tend to go outside their marriage because they feel like their marriage is boring because they're only messing around with one woman. But to me, it's like you commit to that one woman. You, the one that proposed to her. And now you feel like you have like an obligation to, go outside your marriage to get, to have sex with another woman because you're not getting that arousal from your wife. And it is it guys are I you know and guys don't really realize that not all women are dumb. Not all women are dumb. Like some women will divorce you. They will divorce you and take everything, not everything, but whatever, you make, they will get half of it. And this is why these guys are crying about, not getting married because they feel like women are going to take my money. But dude, you don't have anything that we can take. I
exactly.
don't
Most of you don't
like,
have any money.
yeah, you don't have anything. You're not working, for a woman to even take what you got.
I think, hello?
Yeah, go
Go
ahead.
ahead, me.
It's because men live in this fantasy of viewing themselves through other men of stature. So when they see articles about wealthy men getting divorced, half of their money. They're living vicariously through them, even though they don't have a pot or a window,
To go
but
at.
they're living through a rich man's eyes in their own mind.
Yeah, I heard men were complaining about Dr. Dre paying his wife like 300K a year, like every month, 300K, and they were complaining about that. And I'm just like, why are you guys worrying about another man's pocket? That's not you. Why you even care? You guys are
Exactly,
not.
and ain't even your money.
Yeah,
Yeah, like yeah, exactly. Exactly. So they're living vicariously through him. So they'll see that article and then they'll say, well, that's not gonna be me. I'm gonna get a prenup. Like, dude, you don't even have a 401k or a house
Exactly.
or a
This is
car.
that's crazy.
But
They
Some of them
they
don't even
don't
have a bank account. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? You don't even have a car,
they don't even have a job. They don't have a place to
right?
live. They're sleeping on mattresses and stuff. They living off somebody else.
they're
And
not
that's
gonna
they're
end up like
complaining about
Dr.
somebody
Dre.
else's money though. Money that they're
Yeah.
never gonna see.
yeah.
That's
Never
the
ever
amazing
see.
part about it. And I just laugh at them. Like they're mad about another man's child
Everybody,
support obligations and spousal support and division of property. Okay, but you have nothing. You don't even have a cardboard box.
you
Go take
guys,
several seats.
hello.
Hey,
Hey,
Deborah.
make sure that you mute your show streaming in the background before you start talking on the phone. Otherwise, we're hearing it twice. Like, we already have to do that with me because I don't even know how to hear you without using my phone. So just mute the show in the background while you talk. Okay, but let me take a minute here. Let me mute this. Then let's start talking about this article. This article is 25 truthful reasons why women cheat. Where did I find this? I don't know. But it's by somebody named Jake Butler. 25 truthful reasons why women cheat so easily is the full name of it. Okay. He says, are women easy to trick or are they just confused? Hmm. Shay is cracking me up. Okay. He says, for as long as we could remember, we've always thought that men were the bigger cheaters. But now we know that that's just a lie. Okay. Why women cheat. Ever had your heart ripped apart by a woman who decided that it was quitting time and bulldozed her way out of your life? Fret not, you're not alone, he says. In reality, women cheat quite often, and we're not even talking about those drunken kisses and gropes. You may know a few reasons behind why women cheat. Women cheat to fill the emotional void that's empty after a man neglects her, or perhaps the sexual preferences in the marriage are just too different. But through my experience, I've seen that women cheat for completely different reasons. And the biggest reason why women cheat? Well, that's because they can. So why do women cheat like there's no tomorrow? Okay, this reads like a guy who, I know I hate that word. I want to talk about that a little bit too in our next hour. He's somebody who's bitter. Okay, I hate that. Ooh, I can barely form the word with my lips, but it sounds exactly like that's what's going on with dude. He just really mad. Somebody cheated on him. He just can't get over it. And so I want to ask you guys that too, and you can type in the room since we having so many audio issues. But those of you who are on Zoom, you'll get a chance in a minute. We're going to talk about, okay, if you've ever cheated or you know someone who has, a female friend or relative, Why? What reason did they give to cheat? Okay, that's one question. The second one is, uh, do you think that women cheat more than men do and just too smart and don't get caught? And if that's the case, then, why do you think women cheat? So you might know, okay, there's three parts to this. People that you personally know, what reasons did they use? What did they tell you was the reason why they cheated? Okay, that's not project, not conjecture. That's factual. What did they say, or if you did it, why? Okay. Then, do women cheat more than men, in your opinion, or is it about equal, or what? What's your thought on that? And then the third one is, why do you think the women cheat versus the reasons why men cheat? Okay, so there's three points of discussion here. You can take any of them, or you can take none at all, or you can take all three, or whatever. To try to keep your comments down to about 3 minutes, though, if you're on the phone, so we can get through everybody, and again get I can read some of the comments from the ladies in the chat. Okay, so let's see who's gonna go first. Any volunteers?
You mean in the chat or in the Zoom?
Kier?
Oh, okay. Oh, I'll go.
Yeah.
I don't know
Okay,
anyone
let me hear what you got to say.
Okay. I don't know anyone personally, but I think like what years ago, like in high school, like the last time I used to want to friend a girlfriend who cheated. She cheated because she just wanted to. She was dating a guy at the time, and she wanted to date a girl, so she was dating them both at the same time. She just did it because she wanted to, and she knew she could, so she just dated the both of them at the same time. But I think that men cheat more, but I think the reason why men do cheat more is because they have a tendency to want to have their cake and eat it too. Women, when most of the time when they're unhappy, they'll just leave or they'll just break up or something like that. Or the opposite, 9 times out of 10, it's just because she's more covert with it. She's not telling anybody about it, and it happens a lot longer, and the man is unaware. Oh, I can't hear you in the Zoom room.
I think I'll go next. You don't mind? Okay. I think the reason why women cheat is because, for one, I believe that the men that they are married to or in a relationship with, the relationship is boring. The guy doesn't want to do anything. Especially when he's an older dude, they tend to like go to work and come home. They really don't want to go out and have fun. And they're set in the sex. Let's get down to the sex. The sex is boring. The guy doesn't know what he's doing in the bed. So what the woman does when your man lacks confidence in the bed, the woman's going to step out and she's going to look for those confidence in another man after the quote unquote bad boys because they're more exciting and they're very good in the bed. And, and I think when it comes to cheating, women are more good at hiding it because, for one, we clean up the evidence that we don't leave nothing behind when after we have sex, or two, we either do it at the guy's house or the hotel room. And when guys cheat, they're very sloppy. And I know this from experience because when I was with a married man, we would do it in his car. And I accidentally left my cell phone in his car. So when I noticed when my cell phone was left in his car, I asked my dad, I call my cell phone because I'm looking for it. So I call my cell phone. And little did I know his wife was in the car with him and she heard the cell phone and she questioned him about the cell phone and asked him who this cell phone belongs to. So he was caught slipping. Yeah, so and this is, why men cannot, they're very bad at cheating. They're not very good at hiding it than women are because I guess we're smarter. We know how to, we know not to keep things in sight where people can,
I'm
like,
gonna say
especially if,
this because he was stupid. Okay, he got you in the car, right? When you get
yeah,
out the car, he's supposed to go through that car with a fine tooth comb and a vacuum cleaner. Okay, you don't just drive home like that. You know, 'cause wives have like supersonic hearing and vision. And one hair that you left on the seat somewhere or something, she gonna zoom in on that and she's gonna know you had a bitch in my car. So you supposed to go to the car wash and you vacuum out your car and you wash it and you do everything and then he would have found the phone. He could have turned the phone off and put the phone in a pocket of the trunk somewhere under the flat until he saw you. See, that's why if I was going to be a cheater, I would never get caught because I think like that. I've watched too many FBI shows and stuff where they leave all this evidence.
yeah, it's true. Guys are more sloppier than women.
See,
That's all I
who
got.
else has something to say?
I think that women emotionally cheat, and because there's something lacking in their partner, like there's something that they aren't getting within the relationship. And I feel like men cheat more, they're more opportunistic. Like they just cheat because it's there. like even when I listen to stories of, hello, it sounds like traffic noise was in the background. When I listen to stories of people that have cheated, when I hear women's stories, they talk about how maybe they were trying to fix their relationship with their men and they weren't getting through to them or nothing was changing. So then they found somebody and started cheating because emotionally out of the relationship. But then when I hear stories that I've talked to men about why they cheated, oh, well, I was just minding my own business and then there was some VJ in the middle of the street. like they just tripped and fell into a woman's arms or something. But yeah, as far as who cheats the most, part of the question, I would think men cheat the most just because they're cheating out of opportunity. Whereas women, they kind of, I feel like women more than men will develop relationships with the people that they're cheating with. Unlike men, they'll sometimes go out, buy it, whatever. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Oh, people were saying they couldn't hear me talk. That's because I wasn't saying anything. What I do is when they're talking, I mute myself so to try to reduce some of that feedback problem that we've been getting. So I wasn't saying anything. I was just listening. Um, but what I want to do is let me start. Okay, you guys, I think we have one new person that just joined into the room. Let's hear from this individual, and then I'm going to start in on this 25 uh, the 25 list thing. So I think this was a phone number. Is it the iPhone person?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, my opinion was that I don't really know a lot of women myself that cheat, but I think when I was in college, it was a girl, she cheated and she cheated with this ugly, dorky dude, honestly. And her boyfriend was the captain of the basketball team, but the dorky dude had more money and he had more resources. So that's why she cheated with him, and he could like fix computers like really good. So that's why she cheated with him. It was so crazy how they both confronted her like towards the end of the school year. So that was my opinion for that. And then as far as probably cheating the most, I would definitely say men, because I hear it all the time. They just extremely curious and fascinated to see how it is to sleep with different type of women. And as far as I've always heard from old school, the best sex is new sex. So that's what I always heard. I think that is true, or to them, to men, and who basically who's filing for divorce mostly is the women. What was the last question?
And the last question was what you think are the reasons, not from the friends, the reasons they gave, but what you think, might be some viable, sensible reasons why women would cheat.
I think the reasons really probably would be is probably there is no disconnect or emotional intimacy in the relationship, and there probably is a situation where the eggplant is not good, and they might be with the guy for the resources, and might have to go out to somebody that's a little bit more vibrant with them to really be satisfied. That's what I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out something because this going back and forth with this phone is driving me crazy. But okay, those are good. You guys gave some really good, interesting perspectives. So let's look at this list and see what this young lad come up with for why he gave 25 reasons why he said women. What was the title of this? 25 truthful reasons why women cheat so easily. He didn't say so much. He said so easily. But I have to agree with the ladies, because men don't understand. Like they feel like if they're happy in the relationship, then everybody's happy, and they really tend to ignore their woman's complaints. Like she's like, oh, we don't spend much, too much time together. I really need more help. You don't help around here. You just leave everything to me. You don't help with these kids. You just okay. So she's building up anger and resentment, right? So then she doesn't want to be, really. She's just every time she looks at him, she gets mad because he just don't do nothing. And then I always want a nerve to be tapping her on her shoulder at night, right? Like, babe, babe. And after she's mad, she don't want nothing to do with you now, sir. And so the woman builds up all this resentment, right? She's tired of having a man who don't do nothing, puts everything on her. She feels overburdened. She's angry. Okay, so then here comes some dude, these sharp dudes recognize that face when a woman, she just gets mad and they know the face. And so they be like, oh, what's up? What's up? You usually look so happy and stuff. Something's been going on lately. You haven't been looking the same. Okay, so what's he doing? He's listening to her, which the husband does not do, because all he wants to do is zone out in front of the TV and not talk to her and just get his dick wet. That's all he thinks about. He don't want to go nowhere and he don't want to do nothing. So here comes somebody who's actually paying attention to her. He noticed that she doesn't look the same. So she's like, wow. And so then he's like, well, what's the matter? And he actually listens to her. And sometimes he'll offer suggestions. Or he might bring her a little flower the next day just to cheer her up. Or candy bar, that's her favorite thing. And it may not seem like a big thing in the grand scheme of the world, but there's somebody who's actually listening to her, pays enough attention to her to know what she likes, and who's actually doing something to try to brighten her world. Where's her husband? He don't want to do shit. He feels like because he's happy, everybody's happy. And so then finally, dude who is like working on this thing, because he always did think she was fly, and he want to get with it. So he's like, I know you married and everything, but I can see that you're not happy. Why don't you let me show you a better way, a better time? And first she's like, no, I have to be faithful to my husband. And then she just finally gets to the point where, months later, it might take months, it might even take a year or two. And she finally looks at her husband and thinks, why am I I'm suffering here? And he just doesn't do anything to try to make me happy. And so dude asks her one day she in the right frame of mind, and he taps it. And then it's on, like Donkey Kong. So, to me, when husbands get cheated on, it's because they deserve it. Because they have worked their wife over to the point where she feels like he doesn't give a shit about her anymore. He doesn't talk to her. He doesn't pay attention to her. He calls her names in some cases. He makes fun of her weight. He makes fun of her body. Pokes fun at her dreams, her goals, her things that she enjoys, her friends, her family. And she's always on the defensive. She's always feeling attacked. This happens so much, and this is such a standard issue kind of communication style for black men. They don't even understand that they are emotionally and verbally abusive in 99% of their communications to women. They don't have to know you, but it's real bad if they do. So let's talking about yes, calm down, Mac. Let's talk about this dude's list. He got on here number one. Women get too close to others too fast. Women build strong emotional connections really fast. It's easy for them to get close to a guy and confuse the bond with love. What do you guys think about that? You can type your stuff in the chat room. I'm reading over here, I'm looking. Yeah, I think women do know how to emotionally regulate. And I think, these men are this very simplistic. And they think that a woman's getting close when, like I said, she just finally has somebody to listen to her, which, which you're not doing, sir. So, you want to do something where you're going to kind of try to keep your woman from tipping out on you and divorce proof your marriage. I think you need to do something different and pay attention to your wife. Tell her she's beautiful. Listen to her dreams. Help her. Have her back. Do your share around the house, maybe even a little extra, because them is your kids too. So let me see. Hold on a second. Oh, Urban, let me mute myself and then you can talk, okay? I'm muted.
We can hear you.
Okay, I was waiting for you to say something, Urban Alchemist, but since you didn't, I unmuted myself, so I'm going to be back talking about this article. I wasn't saying anything, Mac. I was waiting for Urban to talk. I mute myself and then I wait for them to talk, but she didn't say anything. All right, so let's move on. So that's number one. So number two, they love any man who can give them emotional support. It's true, he says. Want to steal a girlfriend? Just give her a shoulder to lean on. She'll give you her bed to sleep on. Okay, so I'm wondering why he thinks a woman should stay with a man who does not provide her with emotional support, because that's basically what this is saying, right? That if she'll love any man who gives her emotional support. Okay, what other reason do people get into a partnership with someone for besides emotional support? Okay, you ain't giving it to her then, and she's getting it somewhere else. Well, then, yeah, the likelihood is very high that that person will become much more valuable and important in her life than you, and so she's gonna go over there. Okay, so this is not rocket science. But like I said, the fact that he think this is the problem with men like this. They want to have every relationship be the way they want it, where they don't really give you anything, and just have you there for services, cooking, cleaning, and fucking. That's what they want you to do. And they just want to just, not give you anything, no time, no attention, and no emotional support. Bad ding-a-ling on top of it. So you don't even get that. Don't get no romance. You don't get nothing. Oh, this is not necessarily how to women how to help men cheat. This article is about why women cheat. You're looking at this wrong. This is why men. This is an article about why women cheat. This is a guy who wrote it, talking about this is his take on why the 25 reasons why women cheat. And I'm telling you, I'm explaining to him, since he, and guys who think like him, for each of these points, why they are stupid. Okay, that's what this is about. Why you're stupid and why you don't understand what love and a relationship is all supposed to be about. It's not just about your dick, sir. It's not that. It's like no woman has no reason to stay in a relationship with you, providing you with her love and all this other stuff, if you support. And that's the second thing he put on. They love any man who can give them emotional support. And that's the second thing he put on. They love any man who can give them emotional support. And it's not just about crying on somebody's shoulder either. He's making it, sound stupid. Emotional support is that someone is there to try to be your cheerleader and supporting your dreams and goals. That's also emotional support. Okay, not just a shoulder to lean on. Somebody who's rooting for you to be successful and for your dreams to come true. Okay? That's also emotional support. And y'all don't want to give nobody none. They make jokes about your dreams. And so that's stupid. What you want to do that for? And stuff like that. And so you have somebody who's in your corner saying, yeah, you can do it. You're so smart. You're so beautiful. You're so, assertive. You're so wonderful. You can make this happen. I can just see you being a success. Okay, that's what you need to hear to motivate you to be better. They want us to do that for them. But they just really have a really hard time giving it back. And then get mad like this. And say, well, you're going to love anybody who gives it to you. Damn Skippy, sure am. So you understand, if you don't give it, then understand what time it is. You're going to be left. Okay, Urban, are you ready now? Because I'm going to mute myself. So you're going to unmute your mic and talk. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, let's just do this. Well, if you guys want to talk, I'm going to just keep talking. If you guys want to talk, put something in the chat. I think you have a hand raise feature on here on Zoom. I don't remember, though. It's been, I have this account, but I only use it usually only during February. I don't even know why I keep it all year. I probably should save a whole bunch of money if I canceled it. But I'm going to put the phone over there and go on to reason number 3. You guys, I'm looking at some of the stuff. Shut up, the Mac. I don't know, Aqua. It's like, we'll find out in a minute. But that's what we'll do so that I won't keep doing that. So if you guys have something to say, you let me know in the chat. Okay. All right. So number 3, he said this is 3 of 25. He's got 25 reasons why women cheat. Number 3, women favor the gene pool. They instinctively want to favor the gene pool and play their part for Mother Nature by constantly picking other dating and mating potentials. Okay, that's not true. Who's the one that running around making all the damn babies and dipping out? That's men. Okay, he got some shit confused. That's y'all that want to be making all them damn kids. Sometimes we having two, three women pregnant all within the same year, giving birth within the same, 6 to 9 months. That's y'all that do that. Okay, now I be the one telling women that y'all need to be more discerning about who you let father your children. Did a whole 2 hour video about it, right? Because of and that article, the stupid motherfucker gene. That's like one of my classic cornerstone articles, written to be kind of funny, but as it turned out, as we more and more information got known about genetics, it really wasn't as funny as I intended it to be when I wrote it in the mid 90s. Okay, it's some real shit in there at this point. Now that science has advanced as much as it has, it's not as funny anymore as it was before. We didn't know the things that we know now. So genetically, you guys are the ones who kind of are the gatekeepers there. Because if you pick a man to have a baby by who was in special ed, guess what? Your kid's gonna be dumb too. You pick a man who's got like one leg shorter than the other and a cockeye and learning disabilities and dyslexia and his head is misshapen and his IQ is kind of 107 or 102 or something, not the brightest bulb in the pencil box. You chose this man. You chose a man that's got schizophrenia, mental illness in his family, depression, bad backs, everybody all crooked up and stuff with scoliosis and shit. Okay, you picked a man to have a kid by that's got all that shit going on. Your kids is gonna be having it too. Okay, so your man, he didn't learn to read until he was 18 and couldn't talk until he was 7 and all this old stuff here. Well, then guess what? That's going to be the same problem you have with your kid. So I am, this thing here, when he says women favor the gene pool, I say they don't. The evidence is in all these raggedy ass kids they be having up in these special needs classes and stuff and with braces and shit and wheelchairs and whatnot. Of course, some of that you can't help. But in many, many, and in really, I'm sad to say, in probably most instances, if you took your time and looked around at his extended family and you saw what was going on and they started talking about who went crazy and who up in the mental institution and who's in prison, so they are violent, they have violent tendencies in their family, stuff like that. The male man's, his daddy killed his mother when they was little and he witnessed it and stuff. Okay, he come from bad gene stock. Violence runs rampant in his bloodline. Why would you want to have a kid like that that's got that as a father? So see, I know people and they get mad at me too because they be like, you're talking eugenics and stuff. I don't give a fuck what you call it. The bottom line is women need to be more discerning about who they allow to get them pregnant. You screw whoever you want to. You know what I mean? But you don't have the baby by him. You keep your birth control game tight, and if there's a slip up, you hop your happy ass on the abortion table. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about his ass, but you know what he was doing? He was watching basketball. He was acting like that was more important than me. I'm so through with him now. We're getting an internet divorce. Girl, yes, all that, Tansy, all that. Or you got to be spending all this money on special tutors and shit. Or, if a kid got 6 fingers and shit. I've seen all kind of stuff. I saw these kids, they was twins. And, okay, it was 2 of them. And they were short. And they had them little T-Rex arms, like, them little itty-bitty arms like that. I used to see them at Jeffrey's Inner Circle in Oakland. And this is a true story. And they be coming up there. And one of them came up one time and asked me to dance. I couldn't say no fast enough. Because no. No, can't do it. People be like, oh, he just wanted to dance. Well, then you dance with him. Shit. I'll be up there. You know how you be dancing, you be popping your fingers and doing all this. His arms are like, no. Because I know me. I know me. I couldn't do that because I would be clowning too hard on the dance floor. You don't have any sense. And I would have sat there and looked at him doing that, snapping his fingers way up here and doing some shit like this. Nah, can't do it. Can't do it. I'm telling you. That's not me. Okay, so I be very careful about who I would be having a kid with if I was y'all. So this one, we gonna strike this one off. Yeah, honey, and like I said, it was two of them when they were twins. Well, at least they was brothers in close age. I don't know. Shit, Tansy, you didn't see what I saw. I seeked it with my own two eyes. And they used to go to Jeffrey's all the time, dressed nice and stuff. You know, had nice little special made short arm shirts and suits and shit. They did have a T-Rex arms. Shit. I can't do it. So stuff like that, you know. So do you know what you know? What if somebody had a baby by them, or you know, some people that have like, you know, they be like, they have like conditions. I don't know. I dated this guy for a hot minute, but he had really bad eczema. You couldn't see it because it was under his, you know, till he took his clothes off. But, you know, once I saw that, I know what that means. That's that he has severe allergies. And I have enough allergies, you know, myself. That's why I had asthma as a kid. So I've gone through I've gone through a lot of allergy testing. I avoid the stuff that triggers my allergies. And as you see, my skin is clear, you know, stuff. I don't mess around. I know what I'm allergic to and I don't fuck around with it. I need to be able to breathe and I don't want to be all rashed up. And so, but he had it really bad. So, you know, any kid that he had, they were going to inherit those allergies. I don't know. I mean, just like you know, with the advancements in science that have gone on in the last 20, 30 years, you know, ladies, come on now. You got to be better about this. You got to think about your kids. You going to set them up to be all fucked up by choosing a stupid father, a violent father, a father who can't read, can't write, illiterate, stupid, you know, crazy, come from a crazy family with all this depression and stuff. You've been hearing all the stuff going on in the advice column. How many girls write in talking about, oh, my boyfriend has depression. I would pass his ass by so soon, so quick. The first time he told me, oh, I'm taking lithium because I'm depressed, I would have been like, wow, whew, I really got to go now. Sorry. Yeah, I thought you were going to stay. Yeah, I thought I was too, but some shit came up. I got to go. Yeah, definitely, Anu. Be very picky. You talking about your future generations of your family, okay? Why would you have just let any old body breed a baby with you, and you gonna be having this some fucked up looking kid? Shit. Yeah, but people get upset and they, you know, they the dudes get really mad at me. They say you telling women to be eugenics. You know better than a redneck racist and you this and you that and all this old stuff. And I just be like, yeah, whatever. But you know what? You don't see me with no fucked up kid, with no messed up. No, lithium is a drug for it's a drug for your mental balance or something. But no, not doing it. People taking all this stuff, they popping Prozacs like it's like M&Ms and shit. Nah, I'm cool. I just be looking at dudes and they be coming up with that. Anybody carrying around a pill box and taking medication? What is that for? I want to see the bottle. I don't want to see you with them little package pocket pill things. I want to see the label on what it is. A lot of that medication, you know, I looked it up online. You know how I'm gonna look at it because all the drugs look different, and you could look online and see what color and shape they are. So when you see it in there and stuff, you already know this motherfucker taking, you know, some Prozac or Xanax or something because he flips the fuck out. I'm not trying to be bothered with him. I'm not trying to do that. Exactly, Tansy. Look at the time. Wow. It really gets away from you when you're having a good time. But you know, I don't want to wear out my welcome, so let me just go. Okay, I'll talk to you later. And then I go home, put that block feature in action. It's like, mm-mm. Yes, good night, Onyx. Yeah, I know it's late on the East Coast. It's even later for my UK people. Or they might just be waking up by the time we get to the end of this. So that, you know, that's kind of interesting, the gene pool one. And then he says women fall in love fast. They fall in love too fast with just about anyone who shows them affection. They try playing hard to get, but almost always end up becoming really easy to get for potential girlfriend stealers. Now, what do you guys have to say to that? How can somebody steal your girlfriend from you if you are doing if you're giving her what she needs? How does that even possible? She's not gonna be looking at no other man, fool, if she's looking at you. Cause you always in her face. You the one giving her all her emotional support and the affection that she needs. She's not gonna have time to think about anybody else. She's not gonna want to think about anybody else because her heart and everything is filled with you. But those of you who would rather play video games, or work all this overtime because your boss or whatever, or you just always find something else to do and be with somebody else and do something else other than spend time with your lady, talking to her and petting her up and showing her affection and attention. You don't want to do that, and then you be mad that someone else does it and she goes in that direction. Well, like I said, for 99% of men who get cheated on, they deserve it because they weren't doing what they were supposed to do. They were taking their girl for granted, and somebody else noted it, and he wanted her and he took her. And it wasn't really hard. He just played his hand, and his hand happened to be better than yours. So I don't know. I don't. Tansy. I'm not getting the idea that he's lying. I'm thinking that this is, like I said, and I hate to use that B word because it's something I don't really like, but he just sounds like a bitter young man that just got cheated on. Okay, I wonder if he put in there that women cheat because the men's dick is too small. That would be really an honest one. But let's see what he says. He wrote a whole bunch of stuff. Can you take genetic tests? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's called genetic testing. And they look for genetic defects. And, a lot of people have, black folks have sickle cell. So, either they have the trait or they actually have, full-blown sickle cell anemia. So it's something to think about. I know a woman who, she had a son who had sickle cell trait, and then he got older and it morphed over, so he was always sick in the hospital and shit. And she was just so upset. She's like, I wish I had a known. And I was thinking, well, that nigga was always sickly. You should have asked him why was he sick. Then he would have told you, and then you would have known to keep your birth control game tight, or to trade him in on somebody who didn't have them issues. You know what I mean? So I just was looking at her because I always thought something was wrong with him because he didn't look well. He was always, as my grandmother used to call it, ailing. Something was always wrong with him. So, okay, so does anybody on here now want to say something? You guys, remember, if you come on the show with your microphone, mute the show before you start talking, because otherwise you're gonna hear yourself, and then you'll hear the show repeating it in the background. So you mute the show, then you start talking. So even I have to do that. So anybody want to say anything? Any of you ladies in the chat? No. Okay, y'all just listening still. That's fine. I'll go on because I got a lot to talk about. 25 things. So he says women should fall in love fast. I think men fall in love faster than women do. I can't tell you how many men have told me, I knew she was going to be my wife soon as I met her. I've never heard a woman say anything remotely like that. The men say that, though. My own dad said that about my mother. One of your relatives is obsessed with making coin. Okay. Well, see, they have it, but they channel it into something positive. That might work. But, that's going to be that one person, though, who's not going to be able to channel it, and they're going to be in there, like, doing something else. And you see that other side of it. But if it's working so far, good job. Good job with the reframing. You know how I am about reframing. But, yeah, I think men fall in love faster. So he put this here. So I don't know. They try playing hard to get, but almost always end up becoming really easy to get for potential girlfriend stealers. Okay. Okay, number 5. Women are progressive. They like sprucing men up and working on little man projects now and then. And just when you think you've been perfected by your girlfriend, she'll find another man to perfect. Yes. No, Michelle ain't called in. It was Steve Keith. That's what I'm telling you. I done told you that. I think that's why I laugh when they say that women fall in love fast. No, we don't. We have too much to risk. You know, and we have too much to risk. And it's like we're not gonna be trying to be in love and all that stuff. Now, I admit there are some silly women that do that, but you know what they be falling in love with? The D. And it's not really love, it's lust. But they get it confused and they think that that's love because they want to keep that D around. But, you know, that's not love. Love is when you're willing to, yeah, well, never mind all that. Let me watch my mouth. But yeah, Keith, that's how my daddy said that as soon as he talked to my mother. He saw her walking down the street and he just couldn't stop looking at her. And then, because she was, you know, coming home from school, she was in high school, and she was walking with her books and stuff. And then he saw her, and then, you know, he was like, "Hello, what's your name? What your name is?" And he said, as soon as he started talking to her, that he knew that was gonna be his wife. And I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing stuff. My cousin's husband said that about her. As soon as he met her, he knew. So I keep hearing that, and so I don't know. I don't think it's women that fall in love fast. It's men. Okay, so and this proof the projects. Yes, women do like projects. They do like projects, but see, Deb is on the anti-project camp. That's why I always tell. You know, I have a whole video about it. Never help a man. Never help a man. Even I told y'all the story of my husband up there talking about, well, what should I wear? And like I'm like, nigga, how you 10 years older than me almost? How in the what was you doing before I came along? How was you dressing yourself? Oh, you know, this and that, but I thought you might want to, you know, I'm like, no, I don't really want to do that. But, you know, there were some occasions when I did pick about an outfit, but it was like, you know, once in a lifetime type of situation. We were going to some special event or something, and he didn't have time to do it, and I wanted him to look a certain way, and so it was like people at my job or something like that. Then, yeah, I sure would make sure he had like a new shirt or, you know, got him some new shoes or something like that. But I'm not going to be picking your clothes every day, laying your clothes out like you in kindergarten. The fuck? So yeah, that's. But I don't do man projects. You better come already done. Yes, he should exactly. Diamond Princess. You having stuff together. I'm not trying to be. You can't be my project, but there are women who like that. Okay, so he and this. I'll give him 50% on that one. He says number six, women love drama and gossip. It's the truth. Women get bored extremely easily and need constant attention and drama. Once the man settles down in love, the woman starts unsettling. No, this is what it is. The correct term for that, sir, is once the man gets the woman, he starts taking her for granted. That's what it is. He stops trying. All the courting procedures and processes and all the nice and little romantic things he used to do, he feels like he has her now, so he doesn't have to do those things anymore. She got into the relationship with you because of those things. And then you stop. You just yank the rug out from under her and just say, well, I got you now. And you think that everything's supposed to be okay. And that she's supposed to be all right with that. And she's not. So see how he rephrased this? You know, they love drama and gossip. No, we like excitement, though. We like a man who has something stimulating to talk about. Not somebody who sits on the couch grunting and saying, where's dinner? And playing video games and watching sports all day and night. We don't like that very much. That's boring. You got the same three moves in bed. We know we got a map. We already know what you're going to do. We even got a timer. You're going to do it for this long and move on to the next thing. And then it's just going to be this third thing. And then that's going to be that. You know? Never. Yeah, I picked my husband a couple of things, you know, this and that. But usually it was for gifts. You know, it was I got him gifts. Like one Christmas or it was his birthday or something. I got him a black leather blazer, and because I got it because I wanted him to look a certain way. So I had my black leather blazer, and he had his black leather blazer, and we wore black turtlenecks, and we looked cute. Okay, let's see. What is Michelle's asked a question. I could have sworn I just saw something. Oh, do I just unmute my mic to call in? You can call in without your mic being unmuted, but you want to make sure that when you call in over here that you mute the show. Okay, so you mute YouTube so that you're not playing, you know, it's not getting that double show sound thing going on there. But make sure that you guys click the button that's under, for me anyway, it's under more, the more at the bottom, and then it'll say chat, and then you make that show, and then that's where you would type that you have something to say, get my attention. Okay? I guess I could put okay, yeah, there's the participants list. Yeah, there's a lot of people just listening on the phone, and that works. Okay, let me blow this window up a little bit more so I can see. Um, I'm rearranging windows. Bear with me. I want to be able to see the chat and the people that's on the phone. So now that I can see that, I think you can have the thing where you can raise your little hand or something like that. Now I can see it. Or you can type it in the chat. Either way, I'll keep looking out for it. Yes, the Mac, you are right. That's that kind of shit that just brings you to tears because it's just so emotional when you have that kind of, it's like kind of heart connection. You're not just connecting with the man through his ding-a-ling, you connected with them like spiritually. um your heartbeat starts matching his, your breathing starts matching his, and it's really, in tantra they have this thing where you breathe through one nostril, so he breathes in one and out one, and so you guys are breathing. There's this exchange of air, and it can be a very fascinating experience. But most people, people out here bed hopping don't experience that, and most men don't, because they're focused on the goal, which is getting that nut. They're not thinking about connecting to you. Because if you had a husband that connected to you in that kind of way, there's no way either one of you would cheat, because you can't find that anywhere else. That's not real common. And once you have that kind of love making, there's nothing else compares. Everything else is boring and scare and just stupid, and it just feels like a waste of time. It's just ew kind of thing. It's not satisfying on that kind of level. Once you have it, once you have it, you just never want to go back. Somebody's having a wine break. I heard that. Speaking of which, let me have a caffeine break because I need to make sure I stay awake for this whole thing. I'm a baby. I'll be going to bed at 10:30. Okay, I see Kier's little hand up. Okay. Okay, Michelle. Let's get Michelle first because she hasn't said anything. Hello,
Hello?
Michelle. Speak.
Yeah, hi. So, like, okay, I think women cheat because, like, out of spite more than anything. And because lust, obviously. We've been fed this idea that, like, we're just these purely emotional beings and, like, we put up with men being certain ways and, like, eventually we just, like, when we realize we have more options than we think, we just, like, go for it, like, how do I explain it? Like, okay, so I know someone who was like treated like absolute garbage for a really long time. And she was like a really goody two shoes kind of girl. And eventually she got to a point where, like, years into the relationship, after like 2 kids, she started cheating on her husband. So, like, I genuinely think it's out of spite and just like realizing that we're allowed to be a certain way. Like, we're not disgusting for having lustful urges, and like we don't have to put up with the bare minimum and all that. I think it's just realizing that we don't have to like be these pristine like princesses, and there are better men out there than like what we've been taught. And I think that's why it's a big shock when women cheat.
I was just gonna say, absolutely, you're absolutely right. That is a problem, and a lot of women don't understand that they have those kind of options. They feel like they have to stay and suffer just because they're with this guy. Sometimes they don't even be married. They just be a baby daddy situation. So that's very interesting. All right, let me see. Kier, I'm gonna take your call. Just 1 second. Let me mute my mic, okay? And then you unmute yours.
Okay, I do remember what you were saying just previously about how, if you're actually doing anything intimate with someone, it should be more of a spiritual and an intellectual thing. It shouldn't just be a physical thing. And I've been following you for years, so I do remember like an episode you had on Blog Talk where man he called in and he was talking about him and his wife, and he was saying how him and his wife, they rarely ever are intimate because of how intense it is, because it's more than just a physical thing between him and his wife. So, and when I heard him speak like that, I was just like, I knew there was another way to be, intimate with a man. All this shit that men have been saying, I was like, I knew it was complete BS. I knew there was another way, and that was more intense. It's like, because that's not what I feel when I'm connected to a guy. That's not it. It's not just physical. It should be more. So that's all I wanted to say for right now.
All right, that was good, girl. That is exactly right. And you have a good memory. And she going back to Blog Talk. I started over there. When did I start there? 2006 or something. It was ages ago. So yeah. And that anyway, I wanted to say too, Michelle, that was your comment was excellent. Thank you. You guys, everybody's making good comments. You guys, make sure your mics are muted, and let's go back to this crazy list. Okay. So, point number 7, he says that women are confused about their feelings almost all of the time. A girl may love her man generally, but her mood swings ebb and flow like the tides of the sea. She likes her man sometimes and she bitches about him at other times. Add another man into the equation and it's a teen sitcom. Yes, she does like her man sometimes and she bitches about him at other times. You know why? Because you guys are jerks sometimes. That's how that is. When you act stupid and you do like I said and you disappoint her, you don't come through, you leave her hanging, you lie to her, you don't tell her everything, all this kind of stuff, and then you sit there and try to act like you don't understand why she's mad. You don't get it. You don't think that that your lack of follow through. You said you was gonna do something, you didn't do it. She was dependent on you to do it, and you just shrugging off like it's no big deal. I'll do it tomorrow. Well, she needed you to do it today because she's depending on you to do that so she can do some other stuff that depends on that being done. So instead, well, now what she got to do? She got to go do what you were supposed to do so she can do what she needs to do. So everything will be done by tomorrow like it's supposed to be. And you don't think that she's gonna be mad about that? Okay? You don't think that's going to be a motivator for her to bitch about you to her friends or anybody who listens, just walking down the street talking about how ain't shit you are. You don't see that. See, men don't understand every single thing. The stuff that they do that irritates the fuck out of us, especially if we aren't able to tell you the same thing already twice, three, 5 times, like you a kid, and you still do it anyway. Well, see, that means that you want us to be mad at you. That's what that means. You don't care. So you don't just take that L. She gonna be cussing you out and telling you about yourself and telling your mother about you and how she was a little shit mother and raised a pig because that's what you did. That's what you did, lady. That's what's over here. Stuff like that. And then you want to act like that's her fault for being and that's saying that she's confused about her feelings. No, she's not confused about her feelings. You are. That's on you. Okay. Oh, I see a hand up. DP. Okay, DP, I'm muting myself so you can unmute yourself. Let me get this phone.
Yeah, the problem is men aren't who they pretend to be, and then they don't follow through, and they're not consistent in their actions, and their words don't match. Their words and actions don't match, and then they have the nerve to get mad when women get mad at them, and then they want to sit up here like women are so emotional, and women have attitudes, and it's her period. It's this. No, it's you because you don't do what you're supposed to do, and then when we cheat and leave you, or go find some bigger, better peen or some man with longer money, y'all want to sit online and complain and wonder what happened. And women are tired of repeating themselves. If you can't keep the work up that you did to get the woman when you're in a relationship, she's going to leave you. She's going to cheat. And you're going to be sad and left all by yourself. And that's your fault. So there.
Oh, she said so there. That's right though. I mean, no lies detected. I just, these are the kind of things, seriously, that fathers used to tell their sons. They used to be there to teach them how to interact in relationships with women, how to talk to women, what kind of things to say and not say to women. But now, since these young boys are being just cut loose and don't really know what to do or how to do it, how to figure out how to date something, they don't know anything. That's very evident. I hate to say it, man. I tell you, I going on Clubhouse because it's just a big concentration of young people there, and they are just so silly. They don't know nothing. It's just horrible. The stuff that I was hearing, and I just don't even know what to say. We have a show over there tomorrow at 4 o'clock, so people were wondering, well, why? What happened to DNN? Do you know what I realized? Okay, I did a show Tuesday, and then I started thinking about, okay, wait a minute. I have a long ass show on Saturday, 4 hours. Are you kidding me right now? And then a show, on the new platform I'm trying to figure out if I want to expand to or not. So that's two shows. There would have been three shows back to back, three live streams. You don't only do that during February. And don't even, this year didn't even do that. I had some recorded shows in there, pre-recorded shows mixed in. So I'm like, wait a minute, I can't do this because like you all been looking for me tonight, and I would have been in the bed sleep. So I said, okay, well let me just push that aside because we can do that anytime. But this was a live, it's already scheduled, and involves you with callers and stuff. So I want to make sure I had enough energy and to do this and do it well and stay awake the whole time and then be ready for tomorrow. For those of you, I've been trying to get you all full of over there on Clubhouse so we can all try that avenue. Yes, honey, DP, it is full of dusties and pick me's, and yeah, the relationship advice over there is scary, absolutely scary. Some of the stuff I've heard is just like, oh my God. Y'all, please stop putting this on the airwaves so people gonna be believing you. Yeah, that would be interesting to have Keith say what his daddy taught him. Keith, why don't you call in over here? You can call. I don't know. You got a Zoom account? They'll tell you that the number. Well, there's a phone number that you call to get a local number, so you can call in by phone if you don't want to be on video. Let me see if I had that paper. Where is that paper? Oh, here it is. Hold on a second. So if you want to call by phone, let's see. Let me type it in here. Where I don't know where Keith is. Well, everybody got cell phones with free what you call them anyway. So let me just put this number for San Jose. You can just all call this. As you don't get charged long distance anymore for nationwide calls. Wait, is that right? Okay, that's the number for San Jose. And if you're on the East Coast, it's 1-646 dash 558 dash 8656. Yes, those are the two phone numbers, and then this is the meeting number. Shay has the meeting numbers and stuff in a thing. 829. Okay, that's it. So that first number is on the West Coast. The second number, the 646 numbers, if you're on the East Coast, and that's the meeting number, and that's the entry code right there. Okay, so that's what you do. And you come when you come in, mute yourself, and then make sure you mute the background before you start talking. Okay, let's see. I saw a hand up. Oh, Nene. Okay, Nene, you unmute yourself, and then I'm gonna mute myself. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm muted.
Okay, so we were talking about basically men not listening to what we're saying that we're missing inside of a relationship, and then relationships will end or women will cheat, right? So I guess I just wanted to know what you thought about this. So I'm thinking that for millennia, men have ruled over women in a patriarch patriarchal structure. So they didn't have to listen to women because women had no choice but to stay in relationships and stay in marriage, because it wasn't until recently that a woman could even file for divorce. So they didn't have to listen to women. So they've spent generation after generation not having to listen to women because they had all the power socially and economically. So I think worldwide, maybe men just don't know what to do in a society where women actually have the bit of equality that we have. And what will we do as a society to try to re-educate men on how to actually listen to women?
Okay, that was a very interesting perspective, and it's very true. They did not have to listen. A lot of them still want to have that mentality today. Where they feel like they should be in charge just because they have those male bits, as my UK people like to say. Um, Re-educating young men on how to treat women, share power with women, and that kind of thing. As I was saying before, that is a parenting issue. Okay, as us as a society, it's too late for us to do that. Okay, that happens at home. That is the responsibility of parents. Unfortunately, we have a lot of people having babies, but they are not parents. Parents take the time to spend with their kids educating them about stuff. Not only about reading, writing, and arithmetic, but morals, values, and how to conduct themselves in the world is as part of a social structure. Okay, that requires time, energy, and effort. It requires when you see and hearing your child doing something that's inappropriate, that you drop whatever you're doing and you correct them about their attitude or their behavior, what it is they said or what it is they did. So many parents don't do that. We just had a letter Tuesday, right? One of the young ladies wrote in and said, I remember she lived in Oakland, talking about her 8-year-old a little cousin or something, and how he likes to hit. He had hit her with a baseball bat. He always wants to fight little girls, and he has this very weird, very negative and violent behavior towards females. And the mother and the aunt laugh about it. Okay, see, bad parenting. So this is the kind of thing, teaching little boys how to treat women starts at home. And if you having a kid in an environment where they're not being taught this, what else is going to happen when they grow older? They don't have any clue. So yes, I mean, I understand what you're saying, and that's definitely something that needs to change. But it is not our responsibility to do it. We are not here to teach grown men how to act as a grown adult. Even if he wasn't taught that at home, he has resources called books. Wow, what a concept. Or the internet. Okay? He has women in his social circle. Women at people at church, all kind of stuff, different avenues he could go to, his aunties or whatever. People he could strike up conversations with elders and say, I didn't get this training as a child and I want to make myself a better man. What do I need to do? So the resources and the information is available if they merely avail themselves of it. Okay, that's one thing. Right. The other one is boundaries. That is where women come in. You don't accept this kind of behavior from guys. You don't make excuses for it. Like the young lady I was telling you about on Clubhouse, that her excuse was, well, I want women to know how, bad these guys are. And it's like, okay, well, we don't even know his real name since it's an auditory thing, unlike you two. You don't know what he looks like. So please explain to me how him being on there cussing and calling a bunch of 150 women in this chat room bitches, how is that helping anybody know anything? That's what I'm saying. Her logic was kind of fucked up. And she wasn't even thinking that through. I mean, in her mind, that made perfect sense to let him do that. To me, that made no sense at all. Because it's like, not like anybody going to know who he is once he gets done with all of that. While you trying to set this pathway and feeling like you got an S on your chest. We don't know who he is. We know he has this weird screen name. Don't nobody know what his face looks like or where he lives. Nothing. Nothing. So, how this is going to help prevent women from dating him? Hmm. I still don't understand that. Yeah, you got to raise your kids, you raise them with love and all that kind of stuff. But so many parents are just fucking weak. They don't tell the kids, no, they want to say no to them. Never say no, put no boundaries around their kids' activities and their actions and what they can and cannot say and can and cannot do. Like, I have a hard time with kids, like, okay, you're a parent, but you're on the phone. Here come your kid interrupting you. 95% of women will stop what they're doing, talking to another adult, and start talking to that kid. When bitches be doing that shit to me, I hang up. Yes, I call them a bitch because you're not going to disrespect me like that. Okay, I don't have a lot of free time, but if I'm sharing some of my free time with you and you're going to sit there and talk, let a kid interrupt you, you don't say, I'm on the phone. You wait until I am done. Don't ever interrupt me like that. That's rude. Okay, that's instructing your kid. I'll hang on the phone if I hear you say that. Because you teaching your kid how to act. When you teach your kid, when you let your kid interrupt anything that you're doing with another adult, because they don't know who's on the phone. They don't even care. Then you are teaching your child that they can do whatever they want to, and that you will always stop doing what you're doing to pay attention to them, no matter what. That's inappropriate. You, as a parent, have to be able to carve out time for yourself. That's why so many mothers be looking all depleted and all exhausted and fucked up looking, because they don't never set a boundary around that kid's involvement in their life. You know what I mean? And just something as simple as, you tell your kid to go do something and they gonna give you some lip back. I'll be like, let me call you back. And I would go in there and knock the stars out of my kid. You will see galaxies and shit because I will be beating your little ass. You don't talk back to me. You done lost your mind. And anytime you get to the point where you feel like you can talk back to me and be trying to run shit in my house, get the fuck out. That's what you need to do. Pack your shit. Oh, and make sure it's only the stuff you bought because everything else up in here is mine. So whatever you bought with your little allowance, your little summer job, or your gifts from grandma, that's what you get to take. Everything else in this bitch is mine. So you hit that door and get the fuck out of my house because you grown now. So you get out. That's what grown people do. They go and make their own way. Stuff like that. But you don't have parents doing that. And they got kids 25, 30 years old living in the house. They paying their cell phone bills. Well, they couldn't work. They don't have a job. But did you make them get one? Because, it'd be like, you got 30 days. Either you come in here with a paycheck or you get your shit and get the fuck out of my house because I'm not supporting no grown person. It's like, well, I don't have anybody to go. Well, you better figure one out. I don't know what to tell you. Either you get a job or you get out. Those are your two choices, A and B. There's no C. I told my daughter, but she had a job, but sure, I told her, well, you want to be fancy and shit and do what you want to do, you need to get out. I want you out. So she's gone. She mad though. I'm not talking to you. Like, that's why this is what was her room. This is my YouTube studio now. Okay. All right. Now let me try. Okay. Now I got all sidetracked. Okay. Let's get back on this. Let's just talk about this. Okay. So he says number 9. It's ridiculously easy to make a girl doubt her own boyfriend. All another guy has to do is point out a few flaws, talk sweet, touch her in a few places, and she'll start to think her boyfriend's a loser and the new guy is a sex god who's in love with her. Well, I don't know any girl that simple-minded, but I'll tell you what. If you have so many flaws that another guy can point them out, and he don't even have to really know you that well, or even if he does, he still point them out, and she starts thinking about it, and she's like, that's true. He is fucked up. Why am I here? Okay, well, you did that to yourself, sir. Don't be mad at her. And talking about that, that's why women cheat. She would be cheating on you because you a ate shit motherfucker. Okay, that's what that would be going on. So he's saying, "Wow, why are you being with a guy who calls you a bitch and a hoe and spends your money and drives your car and wrecks it and then doesn't pay for it and never helps cook or clean and doesn't do anything in the house? Why would you be with a guy like that?" Okay, he was saying that he's pointing out your a few flaws, but to me those are like fatal flaws. And so he points him out and asks her why she's staying with someone who's treating her like that. And she finally wakes up and then leaves you. Well, like I said, you deserve that one. You eating chicken. Oh, Keith is sick. That's how, because you know why you sick? Because you didn't come to my show on Tuesday till after the basketball game. So that's why you got sick. That's what happened. What had happened to it. All right. Then he says, number 10, women say they don't want to stray, but yet all they think about is straying. Every time a guy flirts with a girl, she temporarily forgets she has a boyfriend already. Do we forget that we have a boyfriend? Don't 99.9% of the time when the dude is flirting, don't we tell him, I have a boyfriend? So what is he talking about? This woman that cheated on him was just somebody that was ready to leave him because he just was an ain't shit motherfucker. I wish I had his email address so I could tell him that. Write him an email and tell him that. That's why you got cheated on, because you ain't shit. You know? I'm like, wow. We don't like it when random men flirt with us. That creeps us out. Especially when they want to try putting their hands on you. We don't like that. You know, he's so confused. Okay, let's move on. This is 25, and I'm only on number 10. Number 11, women close their eyes while kissing another guy. We close them when we kiss you, too. I mean, I think most people close their eyes. If the kiss is good, you don't want to be looking around. You want to be concentrating on that sensation. So, by closing your eyes, that shuts off the visual stimulation, which distracts you from the tactile, the sensoriness of the kissing. See, so that's why people close their eyes. If you leave your eyes open, it takes away from that. That's because your brain is engaged in doing two things instead of just one. Right? Right? If the kiss is good, your eyes is going to automatically close. You can't even help it. Because your body is like, whoo, what is this? Oh, this is delicious. And so your eyes close. That's the way it is. Oh, so he says, yeah, just shut your damn eyes and say it all happened so fast. Women get physical and then they say it was a mistake. Men, on the other hand, try covering it up by saying it didn't happen. Women want pities and men forgive them. Men get caught, become a punching bag. I don't know what that's all about. But I know the only time, like since one day, I was talking to him, right? And it was kind of crowded. So we were close together. The next thing I know, he had grabbed my head and just pulled me in and put his nasty disease-covered herpes lips on me. I don't know if he had all that, but that's where my imagination went with it. Because it's like, I don't know you. I don't know. I'm a real stickler for dental hygiene because I be looking at people's gums and shit. And if your gums go way up, people that look like they got them vampire teeth and shit, or they got black teeth. I saw this dude, he had one tooth over here, the whole tooth was black. And I was looking at that shit like, what this is? I was like grossed out. And so, that's some foul, unsanitary shit going on in his mouth. Deb does not do fucked up teeth. And I don't do bad gums. And no, I don't want to see no bleeding and cracks and shit. And I don't want to see your teeth with, the gums way up here. I don't do that because that means you got gingivitis, pyorrhea, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not kissing you because you be getting that shit in my mouth. And next thing you know, my gums be all high. So I was hot. And so you know what I did? After he let me go, I punched him right in the face. So it's like, don't be touching me like that. Don't be putting your lips on me. I didn't give you permission to kiss me. And so stuff like I don't know this. I don't know what kind of women he hangs around would do something like this and think that was okay. Just letting random men put their lips on them. You know, ugh. And next thing you know, you got a big old cancer sore on your face. Nah, I'm good. I don't like that. Okay, number 12. Women always think they're in a relationship crisis. When a woman's life's not crackling with romance and sexual electricity, they always think their relationship sucks. Women say they don't like vibrating, entertaining toys and those, things, but yet they want men to behave like one. Hmm. Those toys don't have romantic and sexual electricity. So he's talking out of both sides of his neck. What a woman wants is a heartfelt connection with you that involves romance and sexual excitement. And if a woman doesn't have that, yes, the relationship does suck. Okay, just like men, they say she won't give me any, or it's not good. Okay, doesn't that make a relationship that sucks for you? So why you think we should just sit there and think of England and just be doing with that 2 minute, if it's that kind of shit that you do with that mini dick you got? Please, this is stupid. I said I knew he was gonna put on there that women cheat because your dick is too little. That would be too much truth. Oh yeah, men who smoke. Ugh. Now we can't do whack. We can't do whack peen. We don't want to be bothered with that. Okay. I'll be taking a call in a minute if somebody want to comment on some of these things I'm reading. Okay, I'll give you guys an opportunity in a sec. Let me do like two more of these. Okay, number 13, he says, women think they're too good. Almost all women think they're too good for their boyfriend. With that kind of logic, it's easy to stray when a better guy comes along to play. Yes, well, that's because most women are too good for their boyfriend, judging by the letters that come in to the advice column. A bunch of depressed, half working, unemployed, bad attitude having, negative minded, shirking, irresponsible, immature jerks. That's what most women seem to have, right? This is really interesting. Okay, let me do one more, then I'll ask if anybody got a comment they want to make. Um, then he says that women cheat for the dumbest reasons. This is number 14 on his list of 25. Men cheat because they find someone sexy. That is so not true. Some of them cheat with somebody that look like a Oompa Loompa compared to what they have at home. Women cheat for the dumbest of reasons, to prove a point, to get back at her man, to let him know she's not getting enough attention, to get something they really want, and more dumb reasons. Okay, well, sir, what would be a reason that would meet your standards? Please do tell, pray tell. What would be a reason that a woman would cheat on you that would make you say that it wasn't a dumb reason? I am seriously curious. He says men cheat because they find someone sexy. Okay, because there's always sexier women out there. So that means every time you see one that you're going to cheat, but yet you taking the time to make a list of 25 reasons why women would cheat, and then for her reasons you say that they're stupid, but for your reasons because she's sexy and your dick can't resist. Well, he is really something else. Jake Rand, shut up. A man wrote this list. You talking about a man. He wrote this. What's the dude's name? This list I'm reading. This article was written by a man, you young fool, you. 25 Truthful Reasons Why Women Cheat So Easily by Jake Butler. Jake Butler, he got the same name as you. So, this is a chat for women too. So, really, sir, you really, especially coming in here with a fucked up attitude, you don't need to be here. Ah. So, ladies, you got anything that you? Oh, let me get Janet in here. Uh, let's see. I got Michelle. Let me get Michelle on here. Okay, Michelle. Let me mute my mic. So when Michelle finishes talking, then you go, Diamond. I'll just I'm gonna leave my mic muted. Okay, you guys go.
Yeah, so that guy's saying that women cheat for dumb reasons. It just shows that men are so gaslighting sometimes that like they just say dumb shit, like this whole list is just trash. So I don't want to backtrack, but when you mentioned the guy saying like what did he say? Something about closing your eyes when you kiss. I don't know what he was trying to say. It sounded really dumb. But the reason I've studied this, the reason we close our eyes is so like we can turn off certain senses and like feel it. Like every really embrace the kiss. This is the case for men and women. Yeah, I just wanted to say that. What he said was really stupid. Yeah, like that's it.
Okay, so who's the next? Uh, oh, Diamond. Okay, and then after Diamond, then you, Catherine. I'm letting you into the room. So I'm going to stay muted. So you start talking right after Diamond finishes. Okay, so mute yourself, stay muted until she's done. All right?
I don't know if you guys are aware of this. So, guys,
fuck
actually,
niggers. Fuck
oh,
niggers.
what the hell? Oh my God, that was so disrespectful. Oh my gosh, they do this. I had that happen to me. Oh gosh.
Okay, ignore him. Go and keep on talking.
Okay, there are actually guys that promote this. They they actually be saying that when you go on a date or you in a relationship, do not compliment women, do not give them any attention. And it's like, dude, you're shooting your own self in the foot when you do this. So when women do decide to leave them, then they start to complain about why, the women leaving them. They tell their friends that about the women leaving them, and they blame the women for cheating on them when their friends don't even know the whole story. But this guy that wrote that article, he's but hurt because the woman decides to leave him because the relationship sucks. He's not really entertain her. He doesn't give her any attention. He probably doesn't compliment her. And what women really want is to be complimented. We want the men in our relationship to acknowledge us. But when you have guys, on this platform like him, it's like, it's just a bunch of crybabies, on here. And they don't even, check themselves or, evaluate themselves why the relationship ended. It always goes back to the woman and they don't look at themselves. But that's just all I have to say on that.
Okay, that was Diamond. Okay, now let me lower her hand. Who else had something to say? Urban, you gonna finally talk? Okay, let's see. Unmute your mic. I'll mute mine.
Urban, we can't hear you.
She's having some sound difficulties, so let me get some more. Make sure your mic is working first, Urban. Let me talk some more then from this list. Yeah, that was luckily I was on Zoom. I had the screen up, so as soon as I saw it, I turned off um the video. But my goodness. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do now? If I don't recognize your screen name, you ain't coming in here. Let's just do that, cause that was a name I never saw before. Scroll up, Tara. I put all that information. I put a West Coast number and an East Coast number in the chat. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to do this differently. I'm gonna figure out something, but this was a good test. We That's why we have a moderator. But as far as what's going on in the room, I'm just if I don't recognize your name, you don't get to come on Zoom. Oh, well, I don't know why. You should be able to hear me. Refresh your screen, Tara. All right, let me look. Okay, where did I leave off? Oh, women cheat for the dumbest reason. Okay, number 15 to 25. Women have cravings, he says. That is for chocolates and unavailable traits in men. If her man's not very clean and tidy and she meets a coworker who's a perfectionist when it comes to being clean and tidy, she'll involuntarily be drawn to that. So if a guy wants to lay a girl, all he has to do is show off a trait her boyfriend doesn't have, and she'll dive into bed. That is so not true. He's gonna have way more than just one thing, you know? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like if I don't recognize the name, this is some name I don't know, you ain't getting on the thing no more. I'm done with that. So people, we have one person who says it just says iPhone guest, but that person made it in, but ain't nobody else. Just it's better just type in the thing until I figure out what to do about this, because I need to be able to hear, and I should be able to hear through here. But something's not set up right. But this is the first time. I'll get it. I'll get it together. All right. So anyway, I disagree with that. Number 16, women get attracted to any man who makes her feel good. Men usually have affairs only with women who are sexually attractive. That's not true. So unless the guy is rich or super charming, the odds are slim that he will have an affair with the girl of his odds are slim to have an affair with the girl of his dreams. But women cheat with any loser who knows how to treat her better than her boyfriend. Okay, so why does if he knows how to treat her better, that makes him a winner? That doesn't make him a loser. It's just that men have this thing where they feel like because they they have, where everything's on the community wall, the community wall on YouTube. They are getting upset, but that's all right. They'll live. Because I have it set up, they have to go into the waiting room. They can't unless I bring them into the room. They don't get no play. So you know, yeah, it's on Zoom. It's not. Well, I mean, I guess a couple people got timed out over there, but that's normal. The problem people are over here, trying to get in here to be on camera. Um, Yeah, I mean, if a guy treats your woman better, that means he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, and you weren't. So I mean, and there's no woman we always tell them that what we want. We always tell them what we need and what they're not giving us. We always tell them, but they're opposite. They choose not to listen, and so see that's where the problem comes in. They don't want to listen, and then they want to think that everything should continue just the way that they want it to be. It's just crazy. Okay, so then let's see what else he put down here. Number 19. Oh, well, I'm sorry, number 18. No, number 17. I'm sorry. She's a gold digger. There's no point here. If you're dating a woman who's more interested in your money and the fun times you give her than she is in you, you can't hold on to her unless you strike oil. Shit, even then, because she's going to go for the man that's got two oils. But if that's what you got, see, you don't get gold diggers unless you have money. And you don't get gold diggers unless you throwing out gold digger bait. Right? Because if you was a low key kind of dude, she wouldn't know what you got. But those of you who like to run around bragging about what you got, wearing all your money on your back or driving it, living all kinds of above your means in most instances, you don't really have all this fancy stuff. You just in a lot of debt. So you put out
Shout
gold
out
digger
to the
bait and
Taco
then you
Bell
catch
legion
a
and
gold digger,
fuck
then you
niggas.
be
Fuck
mad.
niggas, fuck niggas, fuck niggas, fuck
What
niggas,
is
fuck
your
niggas.
problem?
Fuck niggas,
Oh,
fuck niggas, fuck
you
niggas.
want to
Hey,
say
fuck niggas. Taco
something?
Bell
Okay,
legion.
hold on a second.
Taco Bell legion.
Let
Taco
me
Bell legion.
mute
Taco
myself.
Bell
Then
legion.
iPhone user.
Hell, Taco Bell legion. Nigga, 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 nigga. Nigga, 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 motherfucker. I'm a retard. Helmet boy is my daddy.
Get your no pussy having ass getting none
Shut your
off the
ass
line.
up, bitch. Shut
Shut
your
up,
ass
yo
up. Like,
mama, yo mama, yo mama, go eat a
your
dick.
mama
Shut up and get the fuck off the line. Get your
shut the
ass
fuck
off the
up.
line. Fuck you. Get off, get off.
What was that all about? Like, why did he feel the need to troll?
Why did they
It's
keep
just
coming in
it's
here and
Saturday night. We used to
how?
have the same problem on Blog Talk. I don't know if you guys remember
Sure
that.
did.
People
They
would
just
call in because they
lonely.
didn't have shit else to do with their time, and would just be clowning on the phone. I mean, it happens. It's
Mad
that
cause they
easy.
ain't getting none. That you at home
People
in
aren't
your
wrapped too
room.
tight. What can I say? What's DP gonna say something? Let me mute myself again. Hold on.
So are we still talking about the subject at hand or the troll? Are we going back? Cause I was trying to get to the list about them saying why women cheat and why we do this and why we do that. Um, we do what we do because men aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. You can't get mad at women for cheating if you're not taking care of your business in the bedroom or you're not complimenting her. That's what this all boils down to. But they want to try to make it seem like it's everything and everyone else's fault but their own while women are leaving them. So that's what I have to
Hey,
say about that.
Miss Deborah Cooper, thank you so much for having me. I'm gonna go now.
Okay.
Thank you.
I forgot to say, some of you might have your a Zoom account where you no, Kier, that's why I have to keep switching back and forth. It's not the Zoom, it's not the headphones, it's some setting that I have wrong. So I'm listening through the phone, but when I talk, it's through here. There's something I did wrong, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. But Doesn't remind you of Blog Talk? That's what I'm saying. It's just so like instant replay. So if you call in, I'm not, if you don't have a name on your thing that I recognize from the chat room, from like a name I've seen, you and I getting in, and you can't use your real name because they give you the opportunity to change it. You have to use your screen name, okay? Your screen name, because you're not gonna get the clown. We had one clown in here tonight. That's enough. Everybody else will get removed. Okay, so you sign up or you put your name. Make sure it's your YouTube screen name that I know from the chat room. Otherwise, sorry, because I don't want to have a repeat of that. So I had to put this little block in place, okay? I know it may not be convenient and you have something to say, but your other option is to type it in the chat room and then I will read it out loud. It won't be quite the same, but um, it will get you done. So let's go back to this list because we do want to finish this list eventually. Okay, so let me see. She's a gold digger. Women cheat when they are vulnerable. Okay, this is number 18. Men need booze and a sexy girl to cheat. Women just need to feel vulnerable. They'll feel vulnerable for the smallest of reasons and circumstances. And if another guy makes a move at the right time, he'll be able to sleep with her that very night. Hmm. Men need booze and a sexy girl to cheat. You can tell this guy's young. Because you know what? Men cheat. You know why a lot of it is why they cheat? Because the woman, and it does, what she looks like is not a big deal. The woman makes him feel like he's the big shit. She blows his head up. She makes him feel, like he's like the stud master or he's her savior in knight in shining armor or something. She starts blowing him up, telling him how awesome he is, how wonderful he is, how she never met a man like him before. He's so fabulous. His body's so wonderful. He's so tall, dark, and handsome. He's just such a good conversationalist. He's so sexy. Look at his body. Look at his skin. Look at his lips. That kind of stuff. Men, they eat that shit up. You know why? Because they are operating by their ego, right? So their ego in that moment, they forget all about you. And they're, kids, they forget about everything. Remember the dude about at the party who did the dude with the two strippers at the bachelor party after having been married with no problem for almost 30 years? He slipped out and he did what he did. Why did he do that? He might not want to admit that, but he did. He did what he did because it was the fact that two young, sexy strippers were willing to bone him was a boost to his ego. I didn't say that on the show because it really wasn't. That wasn't what he was asking me, but I'm saying it now. He was asking, what he could do about his wife, so that's what I answered. But just to share this with you guys in relation to this article, that is why most of these guys cheat. It's the ego boost for them. Men operate on their ego. Like, that's what they think about. Anybody can distract them from anything. I mean, anything they're supposed to be doing, and all because they just are weak like that. And they like to think, the men are so strong and stuff, and they really aren't. It's easy to blow a man's head up. And that's why so many women are able, like, even like at the strip clubs, they talk to the guy, they rub on him, and they pay all this attention to him, right? You had them big old, ugly, fat, greasy looking men giving the strippers like thousands of dollars of money, going into debt, pulling out their 401k, buying them cars, buying them condos, paying them rent and all that stuff, because those girls have been trained to blow up men's egos to get what they want out of them. And it's the thing that, and I've often talked about this, um, why, the difference between what black women can get out of men and what white girls get out of men. I'm talking about materially. Black girls will get some stuff out of them, some money, some little rent paid or something like that. But white girls be getting, like houses, 3, 4 bedroom condos and townhouses and shit, villas, stuff like that. And the reason I, because I learned this when I was working in Livermore with all my white clients. And all them girls, and say some of them weren't even that cute, but they had husbands that was busting their ass for them. And you know what they kept saying? This is when I learned the word awesome. This was about how many years ago? When did I start working there? 2004. I started working there 2004. That's when I learned the word awesome from them. And they said, they couldn't believe that I was single. And they're like, oh, you're just so beautiful and you're so talented and so smart and everything. You should have a husband that's working for you so that you wouldn't have to be working. I said, yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? I said, don't you know anybody you can introduce me to? They're like, well, everyone is married. I'm like, yeah, that's the problem with it. But that's what they used to do. They would say they were giving me lessons. So we doing our personal training, right? And they were sitting there giving me lessons of how I need to talk to the dudes. And I thought this shit would never work on black men. Because, well, I mean, you wouldn't want to use it on them because in general they don't have these kind of resources. So why should you? But these dudes, I mean, these women had vineyards. They had horses, two, three horses. They would go on kids in the finest private schools. All kind of stuff. These men was making bank. Okay, and what these women would do, I'm gonna tell y'all this. What these women would do. Now we're not these are white women, but they was with white men. Okay, I'm not. All my clients, I'd say I had about maybe my whole training career less than 10 black clients, or maybe about 10. All of my other clients, the ones who was with me for years and years and paid me, big money 3 times a week, 4 times a week for training, big money, all white. Okay, so I didn't really social, and when I was doing my training, I didn't really deal with black people too much. Okay, because they didn't have the money to be paying me. So these white women were sitting there, they're giving me lessons on what I need to do to give me a boyfriend of means. That's their terms. I'm like, okay, well, what shall I do? Says Deborah. What shall I do? And they giving me lessons, and they're saying, well, the first thing you have to do is tell him that everything that he does is awesome. I'm like, awesome, that's not a word that black women use. And it's true, we don't. I'm like, I'm not telling no motherfucker that he's awesome. Awesome about what? And they were like, oh no, you have to tell him he's awesome. So then this was one lady, she brings her husband up, right? So he's doing weights and he's not really doing, she's like, oh honey, you're just so awesome how you're doing that. You're getting in shape. It's just going to be, you're going to look so fabulous. You're going to be so fucking awesome. And so I'm like, I'm listening to this, right? And I'm thinking, doesn't he know that this is some bullshit? And she said, yeah, he probably does, but he doesn't really care. He likes, it just makes him feel good. So that's the secret, young black women. If you find a man that you want and you want him, don't be going after nobody else's husband and don't be going after no dusty butts with, arms and stuff like that. You leave them alone. You get you a man that's got some sense. Okay, that's got some shit going on. That's got a brain and that don't have mental illness in his family and that looks like something decent that you would want to have kids that look and act like him. That's their criteria. So you go and you find you that man, okay, you scope him out, and then you be like sliding up to him, and you say, hello, what's your name? What your name is? You introduce yourself, and you say, I was over there, I was watching you work out, or I was watching you do whatever, I observed you, whatever the situation is and stuff. And it's like, you are just so awesome at that. Watch him puff up right in front of your eyes. I tried that shit and it works. Now the problem is you got to be careful. You got to be careful because it works so well. Men are slaves to their fucking egos. So you have to be very careful about who you use this tactic on because you could create a stalker. Are you feeling me? So you only pull this out. I mean, I did it a couple times just to test the theory. This was pre-COVID days. Remember, this was 2004, 5, 6, and something. So so I'm still in the clubs and stuff. I'm still out there doing my thing. And I was like, oh, it works. But you have to be careful because then they want to still feel that way and they still want to, you know, be around you. And if you decide that it's somebody that you not really sure of yet, hold off on the "you're so awesome" thing. Just say, you found them fascinating or interesting, something like that. But if you decide that it's somebody that you want to keep, then you bust out with the awesome, and then you look like something, and you got a little something going on too. Your bedroom game is tight and your cooking skills is on par. That's your man. And that's all you got to do. It's not hard. Once I tried it and I realized how easy it was, I was like, wow, this, that's why when women say they can't meet nobody and it's so hard to find a man, I'm like, what are you talking about? They're everywhere like fucking roaches. And his little chest puffs out, don't it though, Tracy? That's what I'm telling you. They get their little egos, and the main thing is if they like you, they want you to be the one that puffs up their egos. They really don't want to get it from other people. They want your approval. They are like, and the more they do that gives you, they do stuff that you give them positive rewards for, the more they want to be around you and the more they want to do. It's like this, this circle of life. And so, but you gotta give them something for it, and not just for basic shit either. Like stuff he's supposed to do. Although one lady did say, that's the difference between the black men and the white women. Oh, the Mac, I see you up there. Hold on, mute yourself. Make sure you're muted for a minute. The black women are feeling like, well, I'm not going to give you kudos and a round of applause for some shit that you're supposed to do anyway. The white girl was telling me, this one, the woman that had the horse, she was saying that, even when her husband takes out the garbage, she would do, like, oh, look at those busting muscles. You lift the can so quickly and so well. And, this and that. And so she, gives him all these kudos and stuff. Wait a minute, you have to wait until I call on you. You don't just get to unmute yourself and start talking. I'm talking. And if you unmute yourself, then it interrupts with what I'm talking about. So wait until I call on you. Okay? And we got Michelle, if you guys, and Urban, if you guys want to talk, leave your hands up. If you don't, press the little thing to put your hand back down. So I know that you want to get on you have something else that you want to say. Because right now you both have your hands up and I'm not really sure. I know Urban wants to talk because we trying to get that girl on here. It's the whole damn show. So, I mean, we can talk about that in a minute if you guys want to. Just let me see what they got to say first. And then we'll talk about it. Okay, so you two, Urban first, then Michelle. I'm going to unmute myself. And then after they finish, then you can talk, the Mac. All right, but you guys leave yourself muted until the other person in front of you finish. So order is Urban first, Michelle second, the Mac third. Okay, so let me blink, mute myself, and then Urban, you start talking.
Hi, Deborah. Can you hear me? Oh, wow. Yes. Hi. Okay, so I wanted to say that my first point was that I see a lot of femininity classes, a lot of different videos about femininity, what women need to do and blah, blah, blah. But I don't hardly see any masculinity classes. I don't see any classes that are saying, okay, you need to be this type of man or that type of man. It's all about women, especially Black women too. It's all about us having to like contort ourselves. Don't do this. Don't say that. Don't do that. He ain't gonna pick you, girl. And it's just, to me, it gives me like a dating anxiety. It kind of gives me like, dang, I can't be myself. If I go on a couple of other videos, it'll say, oh, you got to talk like this and you got to, and I know that that's not me. You know what I'm saying? So I take it with a grain of salt, and I also listen to your messages, and I try to find a happy medium, because I can't lose the core of who I am and be like, talk with this baby voice and all this kind of stuff, because that's not how I am. That's not how I talk. So I was just saying, I just want to make a point that they need to have more masculinity classes, not those type of classes that teach you how to game women, how to mac them and all that stuff. I'm talking about classes that really teach a man how to be a man, because they keep telling us what we need to do and nobody's telling them what they need to do. And then the second point I wanted to have is about what the guy was saying in that manifesto that he wrote about how women are always going after guys with money and they gold diggers. Okay, you guys are always going after girls because of sex. Okay, you want kitty, I want money. So how could you expect to gain? Like I really honestly feel like they just want to have the benefit. If there's no benefit, if there's a benefit for the woman and then they're like, nah, no. It's only got to be them to benefit. If you're dealing with somebody that's a gold digger, to me, I don't really look down on any type of woman or whatever, but she wants something, you want something. You're after her for her body and for her arm piece so that she can look good on your arm. And she wants to be financially stabilized. So what's up? Like, give or take. You know what I'm saying? So that's my second point. And then the one about the women cheating and men cheating. I think men cheat because of variety, and also, Deborah, you bring a good point about how it's all about their ego, about how you make them feel. Like how you said earlier, how they would kind of like dump a good looking woman for like a woman that has like that doesn't look as good. It's all about their ego and what they make, how the woman makes them feel about themselves. You could do everything right in a relationship because men will say, "Oh, you got to do this, you got to cook, you got to clean." Blah, 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 blah. You could do everything right, and he's still gonna cheat on you. It don't even matter. So even if you get a high value guy, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, you still gonna have to put up with his BS because he's gonna feel like he's a special cookie. He's gonna feel like he's the last Coca-Cola in the desert just because he know his demographic ain't. Just because of that. So, I got a job. I got all my teeth. I graduated high school. I'm a prize. Ooh. you know, that's because subconsciously he already knows that his demographic they're not really up to par because you wouldn't be feeling like a snowflake. Any other race of guy, they don't really feel that kind of way. They already know that this is my responsibility. This is what I'm supposed to do. So when you find one guy in the neighborhood that know how to do something, they act like they the prize, like you got to compete for me. So yeah, that's just pretty much all I wanted to say. Like I just feel like it's just a lot of pressure for women, specifically Black women. There's so much pressure for us to be these perfect Stepford wives, and I just feel like I can't really fit completely in that box. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there need to be just as much, if not more, masculinity classes so that these guys can know how to talk. Because since social media, these men, they can't even hold a conversation. They can't even talk. You can't even talk to them about anything. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I'm going to go ahead and unmute myself. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, Michelle. Where's Michelle? Y'all should just it's your turn. So just start talking when the one in front of you finishes. So there's Michelle.
Okay.
Oh, well, the other lady. I guess somebody else. Who else was there and left? Okay, so Michelle, it's you.
Yeah. So, like what the last caller said, men are always trying to turn the tables because they actually have no control whatsoever. Like, it's so easy to manipulate them. Like, it's funny you mentioned the strip clubs and male ego. I found men are so, like, desperate for female validation, they will fall for literally anything. But the problem is they're so emotionally unintelligent. So, like, it's so easy to finesse them. Like, okay, I'm Mexican American, and we're taught from a young age to be feminine. And while it's not fair, it becomes easy for us to use it to our advantage. I finesse men out of like thousands just being nice to them. Like, because it's so easy, it's insane. And that's why they're always trying to act like that, because they know they have no control. That's the reason why. Like, but that's it. I just want to add that. That's the reason why. But yeah, I'm gonna mute my mic now.
Okay, and she is right. I'm telling you, this ladies, this is the thing, and it's like I understand, in a certain sense, and I hate to say this, I understand what the goal is of these quote femininity things, black femininity, but their approach is wrong. Their approach is in you changing yourself. That's not it. What your approach needs to be is just in your approach in changing how you deal with men. Okay, two different things. Because you could look like, I'm telling you, I seen some women, the men's wives are beautiful, gorgeous, successful, educated, all that kind of stuff. And you know what he goes and he cheats with, and we having like a relationship and sometimes having kids and stuff? A hood rat, just nobody. The woman, the women that's kind of misbuilt and not really, you know what I mean, not really attractive in the figures and all this kind of stuff. They not that cute in the face, and they just not is educated. They don't have the grace. They don't have anything like his wife has. But he goes over there and fools around with her, gives her money, helps take care of her kids, all kind of stuff. He'll do all of that. And you know why? Because she needs him. And they get a boost from that feeling of being needed. Notice how many men online are always crying about you. You women are too independent and you don't need us. What does that mean? I mean, really think about this. We having this conversation, and it's just, just talking. I'm not saying you got to do anything. You don't have to be anything. We're just talking about some issues and some stuff that's happened. You know what I mean by misbuilt? They don't have a normal figure. They got a SpongeBob shape or Chicken George or somebody. I don't know what they be built like, but they just not cute. And but the guys go for them. You look at that versus what they have at home. There's no comparison. But what it is that this woman in her, lower life state, low education, misbuilt body kind of stuff, she reaches him in a different level that touches his ego, that makes him feel like she can't do well without him, that she needs him, whereas his wife is smart and intellectual and intelligent, and I mean, she loves him and stuff, she wants him, but she doesn't need him like that woman needs him. And sometimes it could just be, she needs his presence for money or whatever, groceries and whatnot. They don't really tend to be too particular about the need. They just want to feel needed. Like she, just so excited to see him all the time, and she just, all over him, and her life is better and more complete and more rewarding because he's in it, not this kind of stuff. So that's what they're looking for. And it becomes a real it's just a delicate balancing act when factor in the black culture, because for us, yeah, well, Keith, even worse. I'm trying to think, built like who am I thinking about? Monique, maybe. mm, I can't think of anybody, but if it comes to mind, I'll let you know. But you know or like how Monique used to look. I understand she lost a lot of weight, but I don't even know really how to put this, but it's really hard for us as black women because our standards for men are different. It's just different. And so we are raised by our parents to be independent and not need men. We to want them certainly, but we always have been taught to have our own stuff to do for ourselves, to not have to be in a position where we're dependent on a man because that gives him too much power over our lives. Every black woman is taught this, usually by their daddy. Now, that was the case with mine. I didn't get it from my mother. Yeah, my father's the one who taught me all of this and to do this and stuff. So it's like, you have a man telling you that ends ain't shit and not to put your stock in them and not to depend on them like that because they ain't about nothing. Well, then, and if your own father tells you that, what are you supposed to do? You grow up and even if the ones whose daddy wasn't around and didn't tell them that, well, you see evidence of the men not being shit. So how you gonna walk around with somebody half working, trying to live off of women, gaming on people for pussy all the damn time, a drug addict in and out of jail, doing crook shit and all this kind of stuff? Where do we get to tell our men that they're awesome because of what they're doing and how they're doing it? And I didn't really want to explain that to I couldn't really figure out a way to talk to my white clients and tell them that. But, I did try their technique. I went to some First Fridays because that's like the Buppies, of the Bay Area, all the professional, young and up and coming professional black people. So, I used to be very active in that organization, would be there every month. And, you want to meet a brother who's about something, that's pretty much where you would go to meet him. And that's where I tried out my techniques, and it does work. But it's just the men are just so different in the black community. You know, the stuff they're taught about women, the mental, the stuff they teach. These people are teaching their sons about women, and the marked lack of respect. You know, it's just different. It's a different culture. And so I wasn't really sure how that was going to carry over on a large scale. So that's why I'm warning you guys, be very careful about the technique does work, but you have to be very, very, very careful about who you use it on. So you might want to replace that word with something else. Like I said, oh, you're so interesting, or that was fascinating, or that was intriguing, or that caught my attention. I mean, whatever, something lower down on the scale, then awesome. Because once you start pulling that out, you might have a fish on your line that you want to throw back. Yeah, my daddy, I'm telling you, that's why my father was very hard working man. He only, like I said, he only went to the eighth grade, and it managed to amass multiple. I mean, it would be worth millions of dollars in this rate, but I mean, at that time, property didn't cost as much as San Francisco wasn't booming like it is now, and he owned 6 apartment buildings and 2 houses. A man with an eighth grade education. So, if I think, and I look at these dudes now and I'm like, okay, you got college and you had high school and you got, student loans and stuff to get for graduate school. I mean, you have so many opportunities that my dad did not have. And it's like, and yet you always talking about, what you can't do. And how come nobody won't let you? So, we don't have that kind of men with that kind of, we don't have that in the black community. Just don't have it. So you got to be very careful about who you use these techniques on, because it might be, yeah, they always got excuses. Yeah, so your dad got a GED, but shit, my dad didn't even have that. So you know what I mean? It's just kind of interesting when you look at all of this and stuff, but it's definitely something to teach your daughter. To teach her about how to handle men. That's it. How to handle men to get the best out of them. And I hate to say it, but the best out of them that's going to benefit you. And that's just the way it is. Because no woman at this day and age needs to be in a relationship unless it's going to benefit her in some way. Now, for some women, it might be just because they want a place to live. They, homeless or some shit. But, for others, you working, you got your own stuff. You want a man who's going to, no, he probably used it on me. No, I knew I didn't have to. Cause I mean, he was that kind that just want, he just the first day he laid eyes on me, that's what I heard. I didn't find this out till years later, but he already knew. He just wanted me from that second, so I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to, And like I said, the first time I wasn't gonna use that on him and tell him he was awesome, because I was looking at him like something was wrong with him, with that paisley shirt and them red pants, looking with that ponytail and that. Oh no, he just looked a hot mess. So no, I wasn't trying to tell him that he was awesome. I was not. I don't know, Tansy. I mean, anything else you
Nigger,
want to say?
nigger, nigger, fuck
Think
niggas, fuck
about
nigger,
that.
nigger,
But they
nigger.
don't. They don't even do that. So it's just really hard to say. Okay, I guess the Mac wants to say something because she keep unmuting herself. Let me mute my Mac. My mic. Okay, what I have done is locked the room so no more people can get in here. If you're not already in, then you just don't get in. And that's just the way it is. Because I'm done. Girl, because they're stupid and they don't have nothing else to do with their time than to just come into people's thing. I'm not even recording this, so I guess it's being recorded on the YouTube side. But, you know, what can you say? Crazy little ass white boys. No, they gone forever because I locked the room now, so they can't get in. No, I'm not. No more people can come in here, and that's just it. So the people that's in the room now, they can stay or they can leave, and as they wish. But no one else is going to be allowed in, and that's just the way it is. And I don't want, these people here. I know who they are, and so they can stay, and everybody else will just have to catch me on the next time. Yeah, the panel's closed now. That's what we got to do. Panel's closed. Oh, it's already 11? Wow, that went quick. Okay, so let me hurry up and finish this list. All right. Hold on one second here. There. Why is that an issue? Okay, so then he says number 20. Women don't learn from their mistakes. Women make moves and mistakes and they learn. They know when they're crossing the thin red line with another guy, but they just don't try to put a stop to the guy because they, quote, like the attention. They must be talking about some real young, silly people. I don't know what this is. Okay, and then number 21, women cheat when they're unhappy in bed. Okay, here we go. This is the one where what I said that he said he's going to be honest and talk about the women cheat because your dick is little. Do you have a small weenie? Or are you suffering from impotency or erectile dysfunction? That's reason enough to cheat on you, don't you think? Absolutely. Number 22, I'm trying to hurry up and get through these. Number 22, her man's charm is wearing off. If a woman isn't attracted to her man anymore, she'll definitely dive headfirst into any other sexually attractive man's pants. Hmm. No, usually she files for divorce. Number 23, women are stereotyped. Most men look at women as cute, walking, talking sex toys. Hey, women can only resist temptation so much. If a woman's constantly being hit on by a million guys everywhere she goes, it's only a matter of time before she succumbs to temptation, wouldn't you say? Hmm. Well, that must mean then, dude, that you need to get you a ugly woman who's misbuilt, and then you won't have that problem. But you want to get a 10, and then you want to be upset that, other guys like her too. That's the part of that comes with the territory. So if you have a woman who's an 8, 9, 10, and you want to keep her, then you better be doing everything that she wants you to do. Okay, you be slacking off and you leave the door, you crack the door open for somebody else to slide on in there. What's dude's name? Jody, right? That's what we call him, Jody. I don't know, uppity Negro, goddess. I don't know where all these fools are coming from today. I think it's coming through Zoom. So I have to figure out something else. And number 24, once bitten, never shy. A woman may cheat and get over it after a heartbreaking while, but a few months later, the drama starts all over again. Women just like the constant rush of falling in and out of love all the time. Hmm. And then his last one is number 25. Do women ever really want to be happy? Really, a woman could be in a perfect long term relationship with a perfect guy, but all she has to do is meet another great guy who knows how to steal a girl, and she'll do his bidding in no time. Perhaps women think they like being happy when in reality all they want is to experience bursts of happiness and lots of confusions all the time. And he says we cheat for all these 25 reasons, and sometimes we don't need a reason at all. Oh, I knew it. I knew it. I told you he was bitter. Here it is in the last paragraph. Just ask me. My not so steady girlfriend confessed to cheating on me a week ago. She looked into my eyes with her big, beautiful blue eyes and told me that she was sorry and she regretted it. And her reason, she doesn't know why she did it. All she knows is that she's sorry because she's in love with me. Seriously makes me wonder if women need a reason at all. So he is really, really hurt that she cheated on him. I don't know what to say. Because, what you gonna do? I don't know what else to do. But, I don't know what's going on here. You know what? Um, I'm just tired of YouTube tonight. Okay, yeah, now you can. So where did you guys leave off? Where I don't even know where I left off that you could hear. What's the last thing that you heard? I need to know where I need to pick up again. You guys remember what number did you hear last? Number, because I was reading and I didn't know that everybody couldn't hear me. I didn't talk at all. Oh my God, I was talking. You just couldn't hear or see me. Okay, I'm gonna really have to figure out something else. This experiment, it was a 50% success. Okay, I'm gonna pick up at number 21. He says women cheat when they're unhappy in bed. Do you have a small weenie? Or are you suffering from impotency or erectile dysfunction? That's reason enough to cheat on you, don't you think? Well, are we in disagreement there? Because if a woman has some stuff like she got some female issues going on or something, the men sure will cheat on her. So what's the difference, right? That's what they use as their excuse. Well, you couldn't give it to me. You know, you couldn't give it to me. Oh, well, this is interesting. Your screen is buffering. Yeah, this is really not coming out the way that I wanted it to. But you can hear on YouTube, but it was not on Zoom. Oh, I see. So you could hear me on YouTube, but not on Zoom. All right, yeah, let's wrap this up. Anyway, we're going to be on Clubhouse tomorrow starting at 4, either 4 or 4:30. I think it's 4 o'clock. I'm talking about the topic of women, older women dating younger men. There's some stuff about it up on the community wall, so you can look at there. Some of the ladies put a lot of comments and stuff about their experiences, but I'm hoping that we have people that actually, call in and share their experiences during the actual call tomorrow. So it'll be about 90 minutes. I don't plan to do none of them all day shows like some people like to do. So we'll do that, and we'll see what they do. But yeah, it is very late. We were gonna do the whole 4 hours, but this is close enough. We 15 minutes off. So those of you who have show, have Clubhouse. You can go to the show tomorrow, go on the community wall. There's a link for you to join Clubhouse and you become a member of the Depsterism channel over there. But I appreciate everybody. Thank you for our, coming to the ladies' night chat and all the ladies who made it in to talk on the panel. Thank you very much. And you did a great job keeping the trolls tied up, Shay. Thank you very much. So I'll see you guys real, real soon. Let me see. What do I need to do here? Uh, 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 uh. Oops. I need to put my little thing over here and close out my show. That's what I need to do. So thanks you everybody for watching. Once again, it was 4 hours. And on the Clubhouse,
Thank you,
remember
Deborah. That
Clubhouse
was
stuff is
fun.
up on the community wall on YouTube. Okay, so just go there and you can click the link because I think they gave me 1,000 invitations, so you can join over there. All right. So you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you later.